Hello! It's game day! Welcome in, everybody. How are we doing? Hello, hello. Wolfie, Tori, Horseman, hello. Oni, hello. Izarl, hello. Welcome in, everybody. I'm super excited. I'm low-key kind of nervous, but I'm super excited. If somebody could do !donate in the chat. We are raising money for Gamers Outreach today. And any donation of $5 or more does a wheel spin. Oh, I'm sorry, it's not donate, it's charity. I'm sorry. It's charity. It's charity. We all decided as a group at the last minute because everyone has donate. It's charity. I'm sorry. It's charity. There we go. Yes, it's charity. Because everybody was like, wait, donate auto triggers stream elements, blah, 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 blah. No, it was a super last minute change. Because everyone was like, wait, donate like already triggers like everybody's fucking tips. So it's charity. So any spin and any donation of $5 or more does a wheel spin. I believe that the wheel spins are controlled on Musume's end. Musume is the host. GamingMusume is her name. She is the host of the event. She is the one raising all of the funds. So if any donation goes through, it triggers on her end, and then all of the teams get told what the wheel spin ends up being, and what the wheel spin, what the consequence ends up being, whether it's to turn our controllers upside down or to have some other penalty or something silly. Right below me is what looks like a bingo board, but it's kind of technically not really a bingo board, which I have to make sure it's working, which it is. Okay, perfect. So the bingo board is not bingo in the sense of, if any of you watched bingo this past summer, it's not in the sense that we need to get a bingo. These are bonus objectives that our team can get to get some extra bonus points, but it is in fact a race with the objective being to touch the base of the tree. We have a list of objectives, which I will pull up in a second here. Okay, here's the rules. All right, so we have to defeat the boss in the Leonine Arena, the Margaret Arena, Godric, Renala, Radon, DTS, Goldfree, Morgott, and touch the base of the tree. So we have, what is that? Is that 9 objectives total that we have to get? So we have to get 9 objectives total to win the race, and these are bonus objectives for extra points. So we have quite a bit of stuff to do, and we have 2 hours to do it. I have 10 minutes to get my character built and ready and to be at the first grace. So that's what we're going to do now. Let me make sure everyone is good and everyone is online. Everyone is here. Okay, the team is here. So let's get started. All right, so the team is in chat. I'm going to wait just a minute to get chat. All right, new game. New game. All right, let's see. Okay, I have to actually be myself this time. When we were testing, we couldn't do. All right, do I have? I do. Oh, thank the Lord. I do have some presets saved, guys. Okay, so I've got a preset. Okay, I'm excited. I'm nervous, but I'm excited. I think we got this. Our team was really cool and okay. Let me see if they are they in? Nope, they haven't done that yet. Okay. Oh, snap, you're early. Because we have to have our characters done and ready in the next 10 minutes. Hi Key, how are you? Okay, so I have to pick my starting class, but it's all randomized, so this is what sucks. Okay. This is Double Blade of Calling. Warrior. Dexterity is 16. Okay, so that's not... maybe Warrior. Definitely not Hero. Not Bandit. Astrologer is what I would naturally go to because that's what I prefer, but it only has Night Maiden's Mist and Carrion Retaliation, which is not going to be very helpful at the beginning. Prophet. Yes, everything is random. Samurai. Ornamental straight sword. All right, I think I might do this. Ugh. This is a horrible starting class. All right. I'm pretty sure Cal is doing this, and I'm pretty sure Maria's doing this, is what they decided. So maybe I will go... Damn. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go warrior. That sucks. Yes, yes, we're gonna be talking to our team. Yeah, for sure. Everybody's in voice chats already. We just, all right. Are they? They're not talking. Okay, cool. I just want to make sure I wasn't, like, not talking to them. All right, Feather Talisman, Shibuya Grape, Man Serpent Ashes, Mimic's Veil, Pickled Foulfoot. Maybe then Man Serpent Ashes to start. Okay, so Cal is here, and then once Maria gets here... Okay. Oh, we're gonna get some people here, for sure. There we go. Okay. Ellie, stop that. Okay. Hello.
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 All right. All right. There's so many things to check. Oh gosh.
I know. Okay.
How is volume? Can we get volume checks all around?
Same on my end, guys. I'm sure mine's okay. I didn't change it since last night.
Hi, Horseman. Pinks
Hello, new
is
friends.
good. Perfect. Thank you, 2-Bit. All right.
Then we just gotta wait for Maria, and then we're good.
Oh, can I call you Moth? Is it for Moth? Perfect. Moth Raya?
Raya.
Okay, perfect.
Aya.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
Mother Aya. Yeah.
Oh, Mother Aya. Okay. It's all right. It's all right.
It's all good.
I can barely read.
Listen, I think it's a great sign that I didn't even pick, and we were assigned to the pink team, guys. Come on.
I also like pink. I'm also a pink guy.
Yeah?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
I went with the Miami Vice stuff.
Okay.
Pink and the cyan. Mother or Aya? Hi, Mother. Hi, Aya.
Okay.
You don't look very pink. Alfredo. Why you gotta do this? What? Please. Be cool. Be cool.
All right, so
Hi,
I
TGC.
think I'm gonna go warrior, as much as it kills me, because the starting spells on the astrologer are not gonna get me anywhere.
Yeah. When do we make our characters? When do we is it like
we have
ready
to
go and then make our characters?
No, so we can make, she said we can make our characters now, but we have to be at the first step and connected to each other at 6:50, so in the next 5 minutes.
Okay. Oh fuck. Okay. Oh god. Okay. We gotta go.
Okay.
Cal Rando. Oh god.
Maria!
Hi, Maria.
Was shattered.
Okay. Oh shit.
Right.
Oh shit.
My chat, you don't need to see this for the 900th time, right? I can skip this cutscene.
I'm zooming.
All right, and she said to die to the mimic tier, to not get the runes.
Okay. Sounds good. I'm excited to see Cal get carried by absolute baddies. You will. Stay tuned, Zine.
Also,
little
we do
wait.
have the pinned chat, guys, if you want to see all three of us playing at the same time. Is this a new game? Yeah, I've never played this game before. What is this game?
It's brand new.
Brand new. It just came out. Never played it before. Oh, there we go.
It was a gentle wave TGC because I'm nervous. I played over 1,000 hours of this game, but like I'm still kind of ooh. All right, no killing the mimic.
Nope, I yeeted.
Okay.
Okay, chat, you don't need to see this.
Who do you want to host?
Hello.
Hello!
Hi, I can hear you. Hello.
Yay, Maria's
Hi, Maria.
here.
The chat can't hear. There now. Wait, stream can't hear you. There's stream now. Now my stream can hear you. Hello.
Yay.
Why did I
chat.
spawn back at the chapel? I thought I was supposed to. Oh god.
Did you not wait for the name?
No.
Oh no, you have to wait for the name.
Oh
me
god, I
pop
got
in
2
there.
minutes. Fuck. Oh,
I gotta
shit.
get in there.
Maria could come up a little. Okay, sounds good. Okay,
That's a first. Now that's a first.
sounds good. 2 bit. 1 second.
Jeez.
What does seamless
this?
race mean? So seamless co-op is the name of the mod that you have to use to be able to play together without having to summon naturally like in Elden Ring. And then race as in we have objectives that we have to get to first.
Maria could come up a little bit. Perfect.
I
Let's do that.
am here.
Perfect.
I'm so excited.
Me too. I'm sorry. I feel late. Oh god. Even though I've been on for a while, I'm sorry. I think I
No,
missed
it's all
some
good.
updates.
It's all good. I'm here though.
Who do
I
you
do
want
not
to
care
host?
who if you want to host because
Okay.
you did it the last time
Sure.
and we know we can connect to you, then that's
Okay.
good.
Yeah, that's true.
I will do it right now. I'm just going up the elevator.
Okay. I am at first step.
Okay.
And then I think we have to hop into the lobby
I think
At-
so.
in the next couple minutes. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for the follow.
Yeah. Anybody who's coming over from my side, make sure to follow these people in the
Same,
title.
same. Follow both of them, guys.
Follow both of them, guys.
Follow
Everybody
everyone.
Follow everything.
Okay,
All
I'm
right.
there. The world will be open. Open World to Wonders. All right, it's open.
Okay, I'm connecting.
I'm getting there. Wow. Here I was thinking like, oh, I'd be so on top of stuff and like get here with plenty of time. And then I looked up at the clock and it was like, oh God, it sure is 6:30 right now. Oh no.
You're doing stuffed peppers. Oh, that sounds so good.
Ooh, stuffed pepper sounds delicious.
So what did you
Is there gonna be
improvise
like
with
a-
instead of the rice, the cauliflower rice? Hello.
Oh. Is there gonna be a go or
I think that that's what we have to go into the lobby for. Yeah.
go into the lobby for? I don't know. What do you mean by that?
Oh,
I'm
there's a
sorry.
voice chat.
There's a voice chat lobby.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, like the
She was a fairy.
like. Oh.
Yeah, like in this Discord.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
Do you see it?
I think so. It just says lobby and there's other people
and there's
in
three
there?
of them in there. Yeah, Musume's in there and
Okay.
she's the host. So yeah, she'll tell us what to do.
Okay. Perfect. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So once Maria gets here, we'll hop over into the lobby
I'm
and.
just getting
Get going.
my hand beaten to me by myself.
Oh yeah, I just jumped off the edge. Yeah. Oh, how are we
Oh,
gonna do the
I was going to
falling
use the
star
opportunity
beast?
to turn down my volume a little bit, but I guess that didn't quite work. That's fine.
Oh my goodness. Whoa. Oh.
Okay. Cool.
Thanks TGC. Thank you everybody.
Thank you.
Also,
Thanks for being here.
anybody who's on my side of the chat, let me know how the volumes are for the others
Yes.
who are here. It should be good, but just in case. Just in case.
Just in case. All right, I'm going to head over to the lobby because looks like that's where everybody is, and I'll see you guys in a minute.
Good plan. I'll be right
Perfect.
there.
All right.
Sounds good.
Well, I'll head over as soon as I can. As soon as I connect to you.
I'll
Yeah.
wait for you.
Yeah.
It's kind of nuts.
Edge, that's wicked.
Hello, keepies.
Hello.
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 Oh. My dog is
everyone
barking. I'm so
doing?
sorry.
No, you're okay.
She was
How
so
we feeling?
quiet
Are we ready?
from 1 o'clock.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
We set up.
I'm nervous, but I'm ready.
Start shared chat.
Oh right, my teamies. Would y'all like to?
I have to join. I didn't get a. Oh.
You didn't get an invite? Okay, I'm gonna.
Oh, there it is.
Thank you for the
Got it. Got it. Got it.
follow.
Okay,
Here we go. Okay.
we got
Lovely.
Bark.
Or
it. Yeah, I'm so sorry. She's
Oh.
being
It's
so
okay.
loud.
Okay. Lovely.
I sent
Chat
you
is
directly
there.
to
I'm
my
gonna
public
minimize
slots reaching that
this. Okay, sweet. It's working on OBS. Awesome. Okay.
Alright, I am all set up then.
Are you guys okay if I run to the bathroom right now?
not allowed. No, I'm kidding. Of course.
BRB.
Hello, hello.
Hello. Aspen, sit.
Yeah, it's actually not
Hey,
Ellie
hi
tonight.
y'all.
It's
I will
not
be right
Ellie
back, but I
barking
just
tonight.
wanted to say, hi, hello. I'm excited. Whee!
Yay! There's so many of us in here. This is lovely.
Yes, this is
A lot of
extremely lovely.
Thank you so much, y'all, for coming together today for this.
Team 2 still isn't here, just FYI.
Yeah,
In
yeah,
case we
yeah.
so we haven't
Should we
started.
all
No,
be
I'm
in each other's
waiting.
worlds right now, or just
Yes.
at first step? Okay, okay.
In each other's worlds at first step. Yeah.
Demon,
Yeah.
is your world open yet?
Uno momento. I wasn't even at first step.
Oh.
I heard that we're having this little powwow beforehand, and I didn't want to be like, haha, first step. I'm already leaving.
Scenario, we all restart at the same time.
So we're all
hold
in
on.
agreement that we're all gonna kill Vara, right?
Yeah,
Wow.
I mean,
right off the rip.
kill him anyway.
Y'all-
I don't like him calling me maidenless. Thank you.
Oh, for real.
I was too offended by the truth to kill him the first time round.
I didn't touch him. I didn't know he was there the first time I played this game.
Did he just blend into the background?
Yep.
Wow, that's wild.
You, my friend. Oh, me. Wait, where are you going?
Why don't I have the item? Uh-oh.
You,
need
have
to
to
rest
sit
at
at
the
the
grace.
grace.
Oh, I have to sit at the grace? Oh, that
Yeah.
would help. Okay. There they are.
Heck yeah.
Okay.
Oh, is that team 2? No.
Have
Nope, they're
pot.
still in their chat.
They might not have seen the message if they have their.
No, they
OBS.
saw it. They're about to
Okay.
join in.
Okay,
Okay.
gotcha.
If 1v2 and Tay, I just started the thing.
Perfect. Connecting.
Would it be too late to... I normally just ignore very at the beginning and just keep running away. I mean, I ignored him the first time, so...
Unless I specifically want to do his quest, I just kick his ass nowadays.
Okay. Here we go.
I'm ready.
I'm ready whenever, I think. Oh, hang on. Bingo stuff. I gotta get that in view for myself.
Is one of you
Make
two
sure
here?
whoops. Okay, bingo's there. On my screen. Beauty. Beauty, beauty. Okay. Cool.
Work.
Yeah. Quieted down for a hot second.
Yes, we are team 4, aka
Let the dog
team Pink.
participate in the rando
So
race.
When
She
we
wants
start
to.
checking off our bonus objectives
what
down
she
there, they
wants
will
to
be
do
pink.
is she wants to play tug, and I'm like, I cannot play tug with you right now.
Oops.
No.
My puppy has discovered that he really likes tug of war now.
Aw, she only plays with one toy. And one
can you
type
guys
of
hear me?
toy. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
My computer is freaking out.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
It like
That's
all of
less
my
than ideal.
monitors just turned off, but it's not off.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, that's not great.
Okay, I might need a hard reset. My
That's
PC.
okay.
Okay.
We
I
got so much time here, literally.
Exactly.
Yeah, we won't start till everyone's
So
good,
how did
of
you all
course.
get the spinny wheel doodad to not show the entire web page?
Oh, whoops.
You have to
I
crop
almost killed myself.
Crop it. Hold
Oh,
alt.
yeah.
Hold
Gotcha.
alt down
That's what
while
I did.
you're
I used
cropping it.
advanced image mask for it. Just created the circle and just made sure the wheel fit in that circle.
I
Gotcha.
chroma
Just
keyed
moved
white,
everything out of it.
which makes it look a little messed up when you actually roll a result. But hey,
I had to do
Yeah,
a window
I
capture
had
for
to
mine. I couldn't do
crank
browser
and
capture
chroma
because
key
you know
the
when you
bingo
went to a
board.
website and you get that
Yeah, I did
damn
a browser.
fucking
Yeah,
reject
I
and
did a
accept.
browser
Like, I couldn't
too.
do it.
oh,
I did a browser because it otherwise I had to resize the window. I had the wheel on mine, and the website has ads that pop up, and
when you
I
do
have
the
an ad
browser
blocker.
source.
But yeah, I have an ad blocker. But when I did it as a browser source, the ads just kept popping up, and I can't just keep clicking out of the game to put those out, right?
Yeah, I added it as a window capture instead of a browser
Yeah, I
source.
did that too. Yeah.
Gotcha. Rock on.
Mhm.
Okay, I like that idea better.
there's
Yeah, you
been
just
a
gotta be
little
careful not to
one.
minimize it.
Would y'all
Yep.
like to stream together, but minus shared chat because all my timers are going wild.
I'm perfectly fine with this. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm down.
Yeah, Katra, you can do that. Thank you.
Me acting like I know how to stream together. Oh, there's a button.
Me acting like I know how to stream.
Real.
Mid.
Belt.
Welcome back to Stream Together. Join the call. If you were Collins, I didn't know you could do that. Huh.
That's funny.
That's interesting.
Dude, viewer Collins.
Viewer, you are live.
Aspen, please. What do I have to do for you to stop barking?
The baby must yell.
She must. She's a husky mix, so she really must.
Oh yeah, you really got it. They really got to scream.
Yeah, she's a husky Samoyed mix, so she just
Oh
more of the
my goodness.
Samoyed
Oh my
stuff
lord.
than the husky stuff.
That is only yelling.
You right?
I better put this down before I accidentally.
Okay, I can.
Okay, she
Yes,
laid
I
down. That's a
did
good
myself.
sign.
Cool. I'm just gonna hide the wheel.
Yeah, I have a
Wants to
toggle to
collaborate?
show it
Yeah,
and
I
hide
do
it on my stream
Plum
deck.
tort.
I love how I'm sorry. I'm staring at what's in the first little area here, and I hate it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, me
it's
too.
really good and really bad at the same.
Hang on.
It's just.
You mean
Mm-hmm. You mean my
You mean
best
we're-
friend?
Your
sit
best
down.
friend.
Good
I'm
little
sorry.
guy. He's
He came from
fine.
the moon.
He's just,
He's just a little guy
They came from the moon.
from the moon.
Are you
our
not
little
best
moon
friends with
friends.
Rock Puppy?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
Rock Puppy kept
from
killing
my girlfriend,
me.
the moon. Well, maybe it just isn't like what you smell
Oh,
like.
Rock Puppy.
Masumi, I have a question.
Yes.
When we go back into our chats just for the teams,
Yeah.
are we gonna have a 5-minute period to just discuss strategy?
If you'd like one, sure, yeah.
Mine's just kill everything that moves.
We can also
Okay.
walk and talk, kind of, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we need 5 minutes. If you want to take
Okay.
maybe a minute or two, I think that's good. I think 5.
Yeah, if you want to
Okay.
take, if you
Yeah.
want to take, I'd say 2. We'll look at the, well, if you have the bingo wheel open, we'll look at the timer on that to
Okay, yeah.
decide when you start.
Are we gonna create a
Okay.
new character, or
I think we're
Sorry,
good.
what?
are we gonna
You
create a
should
new
be
character?
at first step right
Yeah,
now.
you should be at first
Yeah.
step and in each other's worlds.
Oh,
If you
okay,
haven't
let
made
me-
a character yet, yeah, do that, and then head over to first step.
I'm gonna make a new one because I just chose anybody to test it out.
I also did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was. I mean, I still had my original character, so.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
big.
Dawn-
1v2. What is this character? What is...
Everyone knows I did the fair thing in Sudoku.
It's my witchy
dropped
woman.
the Naginata. Okay.
Wonderful. Okay, so hello, hi, everybody. Thank you so much for gathering here today for this little charity rando race that we've been cooking up for like a while now. I'm super excited. I think it's going to be a great time. If there's any issues at all, I have my Discord open on my laptop. I have like a million things open right now, so I will know. Just tag me in the general chat, and I will be right in to take care of that. As I mentioned in the rules, if we get a disconnect that is longer than, I believe it says, a minute or 2, I should probably check that.
I think 2.
I think it's
Yeah,
at 2,
longer than 2 minutes, meaning from the time that you disconnected until now, it's been 2 minutes. We are going to all pause, so I will jump scare you in your respective chat to tell you to take a pause. You just stop what you're doing. If you're in a boss fight, finish it and then stop what you're doing.
Okay.
Cool. Other than that, does anyone have any last minute questions?
We did say that merchants are not NPCs. Is that correct?
Yes. A little recap of everything that we kind of talked about, in case you didn't see it. Merchants do not count as NPCs. We all have to gather at the first step, so you should be there right now, or you should be headed there. And then we talked about
has to have a boss health bar to count as a boss.
Yes. Yeah, anything that says a boss, it just needs to have a boss health bar. It could be like a small fry, it doesn't matter.
Small fry.
Yeah.
Small potatoes.
I guess it's more of a question just amongst my teammates, so I'll leave that one. I actually forgot the checklist of things that you had to do. I know the quickest route, obviously, to Lanedale,
Hey, no hour 4-minute speedrun strat here, Brian.
No, it's not that.
Brian's gonna hit the Celia
thing.
skin and leave everyone in the dust.
Mr. Top 100 Brian.
No. I just mean I forgot the like checklist. I forgot what was all on the checklist.
Oh, you can pull it up.
We're just giving you a hard time.
Brian gets their own checklist. It's very different.
Yeah,
This is real world.
This is
you
what
have to
they
jump up
have
and down.
Oh man. Okay.
Okay, who else chose 0? Who else chose 0? I'm curious.
Hello, hi.
I think I don't even remember what I chose.
Hello?
I didn't choose Hero. I chose the
flower. Hero. I kept hearing 0, and I'm like, 0 what?
I also heard that.
0 to
No.
hero.
I believe it was
Zero.
team. What team was it that needed to head over to the first step? Is everyone there?
Here.
Are we still missing team 2?
No, we're
Team
here.
2 is here.
Oh, okay,
We're ready.
okay.
Okay, I'm gonna quickly roll call. Team 1, are you at first step?
Yes.
Probably.
Team 2.
Good enough.
First step.
Good enough.
Interesting.
Team 2.
Yes.
Team 3.
Yep.
Yes.
Team 4.
Yes.
Team 5.
No.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Oh, great.
Oh, great. Okay. Well, in that case, we can go ahead and start at some point. I'm actually gonna switch over.
I'll say some point, because I'll just go start now.
No.
Go if you want. Yeah, you want to go, you can.
Got my right screen up. We're good.
No,
I'm
actually,
gonna
1v
switch
needs
over
that
real
extra
quick.
time.
I'm gonna do my stream intro, and then I'll pop back in, and I'll give the 3, 2, 1 go. Okay.
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 Oh,
All right.
boy.
So stay here for a minute.
Are we? Okay.
Yeah, no, we're staying in
I
here.
think
Yeah, I
we're
think
staying
stay in here, yeah.
So, what did you always have for lunch?
I
I had lo mein.
I had gimbap.
Oh.
Ooh, what's that?
It's essentially Korean sushi, so it's got like bulgogi and veggies instead of like fish and
never had
stuff.
sushi.
Incredible.
That sounds good.
It's so it was in the freezer section, and you just pop that in the microwave for 2 minutes, and it was perfect. It's so good.
Delicioso.
Yeah,
That sounds wonderful.
it was divine.
I mean, I had fried rice and Beijing beef, so I was like, oh, okay, this
Let's
is
go.
gonna be
That's the same thing.
I
I
had
had one
ADHD
bachelor's
for
pasta and
breakfast.
sauce packets.
I had leftover pizza for breakfast and a ham and cheese sandwich for lunch.
Wait, I heard somebody say that they had
yeah.
ADHD for lunch.
Yeah, I had ADHD for
Day. ADHD every day.
It doesn't
day,
magically
as
go
a
away when
snack.
you're eating.
As a treat.
I don't know what ADHD is, but I got
I have extra for dinner.
Ooh, awesome. Gimme. I'll top it. I'll just sprinkle it over top of my own ADHD.
I had chicken tenders and fries for dinner. I'm still nibbling on the fries, and it was underneath the minimum I needed to deliver, so I ordered a chocolate cake for later. Plus a chocolate cake.
Heck yeah.
Let's go.
Chocolate cake sounds delicious.
Yeah, I haven't had cake in a
Carrot
while,
cake
so I was
sounds,
like,
carrot cake sounds
Computer.
wonderful.
All right.
all right.
I'm gonna hit the start on the bingo.
My computer just crashed again.
Okay, no problem. No problem.
Oh,
no. Whose computer crashed?
It's Porte's.
Hey.
That's okay.
Oh.
Go ahead and restart. Take your time.
Oh no.
I'm able to stall on stream, and we will wait. No worries.
I
will be
think I
back.
need to say
Just,
hi to some people. Hi, Jacob. Hi, Mother Trucker. Hi, Faye.
Hello.
Hello.
She took my old PC. I didn't do anything to it. I promise. She reformatted it. She reformatted it. It wasn't my fault.
Are you sure? Are you sure it wasn't your fault, Colin?
I was sad to see it. I was sad to see her do it. All my work, all my stuff that
All
I
your
copied onto
work,
the new PC.
Oh, hey, a donation
Tony!
already. Let's fucking go.
Heck yeah.
Hey.
Does that mean we have to do 3 wheel spins?
Oh fuck.
That is a good question to clarify.
did
Is
say-
the donations
Well, it does say 5
Oh,
or
it's
more.
10.
So
James.
I think it's
Okay, so it's per donation.
everybody has to do it?
We have 2
Level.
donations already. On the rules, it did say each donation of 5 or more is a wheel spin. So I think that just means we have 2 wheel spins now, though. We have 2
So
donations.
wait a minute. I don't want to die immediately. I just got here.
Well,
there's a chance that
we
we
might be
don't.
here all night, folks, and that's okay.
So does every team have to spin the wheel when there's a donation then?
Yes, I think
Yes.
just
Okay.
one person on each team, and then so everybody has different debuffs, so to speak.
That's cool.
Oh, it's not the same wheel
so
for
we
all
can
teams?
choose.
It's the same wheel, but we might not get the same results.
Okay.
Yeah,
so we
thank
can
you,
choose
Oni,
who gets the debuff. Okay.
and thank you, James, for the very, very kind donations.
Yes.
Yeah, please. I don't want to die
Thank you.
immediately.
Thank you,
Thank
guys.
you.
Thank you.
I want to die immediately. Donate
Yes,
more.
This is gonna be fun.
I'm already scared. Okay, leave me alone. I'm already
I purposely did not look at the punishments on the wheel.
Yes, Key.
Oh, there's some tasty ones on
Oh,
there.
I got. Don't worry, I'll tell
You
you.
don't
what
see
you're
a
getting,
link.
Brian.
There we go.
Wow.
Well,
wow.
I guess I better
Team
spin the
5, you're still
punishment wheel
test
now.
in the
The
Oh,
wheel
that's
of
true.
fun. The wheel of torture.
Are we
What's
doing
the-
the wheel spins now, or is that like the first thing that we're gonna do when we get in there?
I would do
We
it
can
when
absolutely do the wheel spins now.
Oh, okay.
Hopefully.
Let's spin.
Is it
Alright.
like a per team thing? Like if team 1
Yeah,
got a
everyone has to
donation,
do
team
it.
1 has to spin the wheel?
No. One donation is everyone has to spin the wheel. We're all using
Oh
the
my
same overlay and the
goodness.
same goal. So.
Oh no. Okay.
All right.
Oh.
We all have
I'll
to
go
spin
ahead
5
and
times?
Say that again, Cal. That was really
No,
I don't
it's
think
per donation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So once we start
Well-
funning Brian, we get to die immediately. Good thing we have
Listen.
0 runes.
If that were the case and we reached our goal, we'd literally be
the wheel.
spinning the wheel 40 times. So I don't know if
True.
that's feasible.
Yeah.
You should do like
So,
a 5-minute
per
timer.
per
on each.
donation makes sense.
I will
There needs
set
to
a
be a
timer
cooldown
with
or
my
something.
Siri.
That's messed up. I hate my results right now.
Oh,
All right,
no.
I have our results, so I will let you know our second one. I said the first one. I'll let you know our second one when we're ready.
Team 5,
Okay.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
go ahead and spin our wheel
I am
and let
back
you know.
in. Hopefully
Okay.
it doesn't crash again. I turned down all the settings.
Okay.
It was spinning the wheel.
Oh, for fuck's sake,
Mother
not again.
Trucker. Mother
Ooh, we've
Trucker,
gotten
you
gotten
legend.
something interesting.
Oh,
We got
there's
two more
the third
tries.
spin.
So,
3, 2,
Alright.
what do we get?
wait, so are we all three of us
There has to
spinning?
be a cooldown between the spins.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like maybe 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah. No, once the first objective is finished, you've completed your 3 minutes, you spin it again.
Okay.
Oh, okay, 3 minutes.
Okay,
good.
cool.
Okay.
But we are
I
3
can't stop.
spins behind.
I can't.
Okay.
I can't dodge for 3 minutes.
Okay.
Great.
Oh, you too.
Oh no.
We're all the whole
Okay.
team is using the same wheel, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it
Okay.
applies to the whole entire team,
Okay, that's what I thought.
not just to an individual on the team.
Correct.
Oh.
Is that right?
Oof.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah, it's the whole team.
Cool.
well, guess who's not
Great.
dodging for 3 minutes, guys?
All right, wonderful. Are we all ready
man.
then?
We're all
I think
ready.
so.
Okay.
I guess
Ready.
so.
I guess I'll
entries?
die.
Ping me in general. Remember, I'm looking. And yeah, hopefully no tech issues. But I'm gonna go ahead and start the timer for the bingo. If you want to look at that to time your 2 minutes of thinking.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so
So
2
we're gonna
minutes.
switch
So
now?
that means at 3:32 we're gonna start. Okay.
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 Perfect.
Okay.
Good
All
luck,
right, ready to start?
everybody.
Good luck.
Bye.
Good luck,
everyone.
die.
Good luck.
Y'all, I got
Okay.
some bad news.
All right.
What's
I have
our
some
what's our
bad news.
punishment?
So the
up?
first for 3 minutes we have to do barehanded.
Okay, let's just
Okay.
skip Vari. Won't come back.
Well, yeah, very barehanded will be tough. Okay.
Okay. All right. We good?
Okay. Yep. So bare hands.
Okay, so I think we run
Bare
to
hands.
church. We run to get Torrent, and then I
Yeah.
can go up to Margate if you guys want to go down south, or
I can get to Leon real quick. Yep. Leon 9.
Sure. Okay.
Yep.
I'll let you know when we're at Margate, and then we all probably join up for that one.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Right off the rip, you guys want to try? I guess we want to try Margate like right away.
Yeah.
See what we get.
Might
I
as
mean,
well.
unless we're completely screwed on who's in there, but yeah.
Okay. I'll walk in and I'll see, and then we'll.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll communicate it.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna go get Torrent, and then I'll head south to the peninsula.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll join up with you.
Okay.
If the 3 minutes are up, I can kill Arena while I'm right there too.
Sure.
Okay.
And then
And also
we could-
you gotta
we can
take
barefist
your
Bach.
clothes off. Call, you gotta take
to-
you
oh,
gotta
really?
take your
Oh,
claws off. Yeah,
like-
we're barefisting.
claws.
Oh, right.
I
Oh,
was
I'm
like,
sorry. I was like, clothes?
No.
Okay.
I mean, you can do a nudie run if you want to.
Oh, that's fine.
I'm also
We could
keeping
probably
track of the
barefist Bach.
spins because apparently right now we're up to 3. I also don't know how we're keeping track of who's keeping track of donations coming in. Is the
I don't know.
thing.
Do you have the overlay?
I do have. I mean, I have the.
I have the overlay, but I don't have alerts on it.
Yeah.
So I just have to like watch the bar, but I won't
Yeah.
know.
Let me see.
Is there a list? Oh, we gotta go. 3:32.
Yeah.
We're good.
We go?
Okay.
Yep, we go. 3:32.
Okay, we go. We go, and we're off.
And we're off.
All right,
All
to the
right.
church.
Yep.
It's time.
No,
Let's go,
thank you, Falling
team.
Star Beast.
All
I'm
right,
so
let's-
nervous.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
not right now, my guy. No, my best friend from the moon. We can't. We're
Moon
busy.
cat. Go away.
Moon puppy, leave us alone.
Don't even look at me. Don't even look. I'm not your friend.
Church.
Okay, got that church.
Yep.
I'm just moving. Oh, I want.
Yeah,
wait,
let's
this is,
go get
There we go.
Torrent.
Golden Moon 2. Great, perfect. Oh, Night Rain, please.
Ah, I know. Night Rain has ruined all of us. Whoa, who just killed the Falling Star Beast? What?
Huh?
Falling Star Beast's health is gone.
That's okay.
What?
I'm just moving. What? What had happened?
It's like 2/3 of the health just
That's a
disappeared.
big bug. Oh, there's
interesting.
just a big ant here.
Oh.
He may have hurt himself getting like stuck in the ground or something.
Oh, weird. Okay.
Hmm.
All right. Our next thing is
Lobster,
the.
careful. Oh my
our-
God,
our
there's
fists.
lobsters.
Let me know when our
Golem.
fists are up.
Yeah.
Oh,
we've
yeah.
got,
Did you have that timer?
Yeah. We've got like a minute and 20 seconds left.
Okay, there's a lobster in the camp.
An ice lobster too, so be careful.
Ice
There's
lobster.
an ant.
Ice
There's,
lobster.
Oh god, I'm terrified of this thing. Okay, torrent is soon. All right, we sit.
Give me horse.
Yeah. Great. Thank you.
Okay, I've got the dono thing up. Oh God.
Okay, nice. This is so scuffed. What? I'm just sitting in the grace. Where's my horse?
I don't know if anything's happening. Oh,
Here we go.
Okay,
Got
got
it.
the whistle. But can I get up?
Yeah, I got. Oh.
Can't get up.
Okay.
There we go. Somebody's up.
Thank you.
Let me up.
I can't get up.
Free me. All right, I think you just go.
Yeah, I'm getting torrent on my
Oh my god.
doodad.
I'm stuck. Oh,
Okay,
shoot.
so
Yeah, I can't get up.
Shoot. Okay. Maybe try to activate another grace, or maybe lure the lobster over here, or.
Yeah, come. Yeah.
I'm gonna go get this grace that's right over through the camp.
Okay.
Yeah. Kill block while you're there.
Damn it.
Our
Let me
fists are
up,
Our fists are up.
please. Okay.
Ah, jeez.
Okay. All right, activated that
Okay, got
grace.
the
Do you want to
grace,
like try to force a reset quick?
Yeah, I'm just gonna Alt F4.
Okay. Yeah, let's just get out and we'll reset. Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah. Oh, scuffed.
Off
That's
to
okay.
a
That
great
happens.
start.
That's all right.
It's doing good. We're doing good.
Okay, so now I want to go Elden Ring, mod engine, this guy, launch mod.
Wild because it says that you're still in the game.
Oh,
Yeah, you'll
that's
probably get
Oh, there
kicked
we
in a
go.
second.
Just kidding.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, booting back up.
How's our timer? Oh, there we are. We're returning to
Fists
the
are
world.
up.
Yeah, our fists are up. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, fists are up. Great.
Yep. Next.
While I'm returning to the world, I'm gonna do a new spin.
Yeah.
Where you at? Where you at? Nope.
I'm at the world whenever.
Okay, I'm in. I want to do this, and the world is now open.
Okay. Joining. Okay.
And the horse
What's our
is
next?
applied.
Trade weapons with your teammates.
Oh gosh.
Okay.
Okay, maybe when we get close to each other.
Yeah.
I'm schmoving.
And then I'll do the. Okay, let's see. I'll just bank the other two so I know what we're doing after.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Did you guys make it in
All
okay?
I
Yeah,
should be
I'm
loading
loading
right
in now.
now.
Okay. I'm almost
All
to
right.
Margit, honestly.
We have another timer as soon as we trade weapons, we get to play one-handed for 3 minutes.
Oh, good.
Which is great. I'm so glad
Alright,
that
I'm in.
Oh
and I
god,
am
not
booking it south.
Okay, I'm almost at Margit. I will
I'm in and I spawned somewhere not where I was.
just grab a grace if you can, if there's one nearby.
Yeah. Oh, well the grace that I got when you were still here is not claimed,
It's
which
not
is
marked.
fine.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, there's an
But that's
Onyx
fine.
Lord at this the ballista. Oh god.
I've got Bach right here.
Okay.
Okay, I'm headed to you, Pinks.
I'm
And then
about
we
to
can
walk into
swap.
Margot's arena. Oh god, there's an Onyx Lord right off my butt. Oh god, leave me alone. Alright, walking in Margot's arena.
Oh, you just pulled me into Margot's arena? Oh, no, you didn't?
Oh.
Okay, cool.
No.
Oh
Okay,
no!
great.
Oh,
Nope, you're good.
Who is it? Who is it?
It's the horse, magic horse lady.
Okay, I've got Buck.
Oh, okay.
Magic
She's very
Loretta?
strong. Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Okay. All right,
Hello.
let's go there. Whew.
Going to where? Where are we going to? Also, we have
The
to play
Margot
one-handed
Arena.
for 3 minutes once we
Yeah.
swap.
I'll put it in there. Can we?
Oh, she's very strong.
Can you do this? Hold on. Oh, you can. Okay, cool.
Oh, jeez.
Thank you, Laz.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
I'm not loading.
I'm also not loading.
Lime.
Adoo-doo.
I was outdone.
Okay.
I don't know what happens now. I don't know if I just like leave. I don't even know where you guys are.
Well, I'm stuck in loading limbo.
Oh. Dang it.
Maybe it's because you died when we were in loading.
Loading. Yeah. It doesn't know where to
Okay.
put us.
Shoot. Okay. Do we want to force restart again?
Yeah, might as well.
Okay. Okay. Do it. Sorry, guys.
It's all good.
I'll maybe now that we know that though, I think we skip it and we move on and come back to it.
I wonder if anybody else is having the same issues. Oh, not me closing the. Oh God.
She's
It's
scuffed.
fine.
It's okay.
Is she scuffed, Captain? That's not what I wanted. Where am I? There we are.
Loading something now.
Okay.
Connection error occurred. Okay.
Nice. I died
Okay.
outside of the arena.
Great.
I think I'm about to respawn. And I'll reopen the world. There we go.
Okay.
All right, the world is reopened. There we go. Perfect. Should be good now.
Okay. How's it been so far? We've done nothing. We've crashed twice already.
It's kind of rough, yeah.
Okay, I am rejoining.
Perfect.
Also should be joining.
I'll try and get some kills. Loretta is, oh man, that's mean.
Is it Loretta or Ghost Loretta?
Is Loretta.
Oh, that's even worse.
Oh God.
We did get 1 out of 3 NPCs. That's true.
Nice.
Oh, okay. I'm here.
Okay.
Hello. All right. Let's touch this grace.
Okay. Do you guys do we want to try just like sticking together to see if we can get
Yeah, let's see what happens when we're all
some
together.
progress together?
Trier.
Do
Yeah.
we want to take our
Oh, my game just crashed.
So did mine.
Okay.
That's
Whoa,
so weird that
okay.
it crashed at the same time.
Whoa! This
Oh,
is going
gosh.
so well.
Everybody just like flashed in and out of existence.
That's what it felt like.
Oh yeah, Dirge was playing Valorant. He already ended stream. He's got to be having internet issues or something.
Oh, she wants to go to the round table. Fuck. Go away.
I don't want to go. You can't make me.
No,
You can't force me.
Not like this.
Okay.
Okay. Now.
I am here.
Okay.
Oh, we're at the round table. Okay.
Nice.
Ooh,
Okay,
love
I
your
transferred
fit there,
to Storm Hill.
Okay. Storm Hill
There's an
Shack.
NPC here, this lady. Yeah, you got it.
Oh
You said there was
yeah.
a Storm Hill?
What's her face? All right, I'm gonna still go do a Gale Lake, and I'm gonna try to just go south and at least get the Grace that's right at the top of the peninsula.
Okay.
Because that should be easy, unless I get completely screwed.
I can try going north and to the lake. Try to
Do you
open
know
that area
the
up a little bit.
shortcut by Storm Hill?
Yep.
Yeah. Go for it.
Yep. Okay, I'll do that. I gotta call him horse. Is everybody in the game right now?
Yeah, I'm in. I just got in.
Okay. Okay, perfect.
What should I be doing? I don't even remember now.
Do you want to join Pink going to the castle south?
Sure.
Leonin Castle?
Yeah, we're going to Oh, we're behind on NPCs. All right, I will get what's her name?
Oh, do you want me to
over
get
here?
her while I'm at the Storm Castle?
Or Vare. Or Vare. Do you want to go get Vare at first step?
Okay.
And I'll get Arena.
Okay, just kidding. She can't.
Yeah, you can't kill Roderica.
She's the
Yeah.
Okay.
No, go try to get Vare and I'll get Arena.
Okay. Where is
First step.
I don't
First step.
remember.
The very
Oh,
yep,
I
yep.
see. Okay. Yep.
Alrighty. I'm working my way almost behind the castle here now. A little bit of adversity off the rip, but we'll get there.
We're
It's
good,
not really
though.
what the system is made for. So.
No. We're probably overloading the crap out of it right now. It's
Yeah.
like I don't know what to do.
Oh god, there's just a lion, a big old blade lion.
Oh.
Just about. There is a dragon at the Egg Hill Lake too. Keep an eye out for sentinels or anything like that too.
Because we need a tree sentinel, right?
Yep. Okay.
Do we
I have
need
the
a
Grace
tree
behind the
sentinel or
castle.
is it kill who's at the tree sentinel?
It's a good question. I think it's
kill who's at the tree sentinel.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's Falling Star Beast.
Okay, I can kill tops here, right?
Yes, get tops. I've got Arena right now.
Okay.
I'm at
He
Arena.
doesn't want to. Oh, he doesn't want to talk. Oh. But I'll just kick his ass. Get his ass.
Get him.
Where you going, magic boy? Come here.
Arena, I'm sorry about this.
Oh god, he's very strong. Oh, his magic is very potent.
Oh, so the beast, by the way, who is here, is not here anymore. As an aside, the one that took the place of the sentinel, it's not here anymore.
Oh, the falling star
It's just
beast?
gone. Yep.
Oh.
It's just
Yeah,
gone.
I told you. I think it got stuck in the
Oh.
ground because it hurt itself.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Do I still? I can still grab this NPC if you want. Although you guys have it covered, right?
I will.
Arena's
I
gonna be
should
dead.
kill
in a
tops
second.
here shortly. He's just
Arena's
very strong.
dead.
Oh god, now he's pissed at me.
Arena's dead. So just tops, and then we can mark it.
Okay, I will do my best. He's got
And
the
I'm still
spells.
gonna push
And the footwork.
south down to castle.
I'll work on white mass just in case you don't get him.
Yeah.
Come here, tops. Come here.
Oh, jeez. I need that blood. Stab it.
Oh god, he's so wiggly. All right, he's dead.
Okay, I'm marking it.
Okay, great. I'm gonna
Nice.
run away then. I'll head south to meet up with you, Pink.
Yep. You can. I just touched the Grace at the Merchant. If you want to touch it.
I'm gonna go get the key to open Liurnia. Or the Ray Lucari, I guess.
Yeah, Raya Lucaria key.
Come into the lake.
Oh, it's weird seeing some of these things here. Okay. It's just one of those like big face balls, just like about.
There was like one of the rot soldiers over here, and I was just like, you're not supposed to be here. Oh, are seeds randomized? Are golden seeds randomized? Do we know?
I don't think
no,
so.
they're not.
I picked up the
I picked one up.
Cool. Yeah, I just got a seed too. Cool.
Erdtree's Favor is at the vendor.
Do you see where I am? I'm right outside Castle Morn. We just have to go in and touch the grace so we can get down here.
I don't see you actually. Will you show up on the overworld map?
No, but you should see me on the compass.
Yeah, I see you on the compass. I'll just follow that then.
Okay.
It's a giant spectral Nox dragonkin.
All right, I have touched the Castle Morn Grace.
Okay.
So we can. I don't know if you want to try to run through the castle together and just.
Yeah, let me just grab this next grace I'm at, and I'll teleport down.
Okay. Maybe this will be easier than Loretta. And maybe others are also struggling because it's Loretta.
Loretta right away. Oh god. You guys can start through the castle if you want, and I'll do my best to join up here as soon as I can.
Okay, well, as soon as I get out of frickin' somebody's aggro, I'll just teleport over there, but I can't. Somebody wants me dead.
All right, rats, dogs, jellyfish.
There's a teleporter up by the main gate, isn't there? That puts you over by the dragon. Do I remember that right?
Where?
There's like a by the Rylucaria entrance. There's like a warp gate that takes you over to the dragon. Do I remember that?
I've never gone. I've always just ran on torrent. If I'm being totally honest.
I think you are right. I recall that.
Okay.
You could be. I've never done it that way.
I might just skip that boss then and try to just.
There we go.
Right. Next grace, I'll be right there.
Yep. I'm running.
Okay, I'm coming. Okay, down to. We're at the Southern Peninsula?
Yep.
Oh, I can't see it. I can't see it. The map is.
You gotta teleport to the bridge and then.
I was able to see it invisibly. I was able to hover over.
Oh my god! Oh, I'm dead. Oh my god. Okay, there's a Bloodtown Fang guy in here.
I can't find it.
Where are you right now, Maria?
Oh, I was tracking it. Key. That's what that meant.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. I just went into the list of graces and I found it there.
Nice.
I was like, I can't see it on the map.
Oh no, we left.
Oh, I think we left her behind. Oh no.
Oh no! I
okay.
almost just went face first into the pits.
We'll send it back here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, it's coming back down to you, Maria.
Here. What's around here?
Woo. You
Only 2 years, Envoy. Thank you so much.
Okay, we got a crossbow.
Envoy.
Scarlet Rot dog. Very cool. Very cool. Everybody's favorite.
All right, we're here. Oh, there's jellyfish in here. I'd love to see it.
Nice. Oh, there's a Crucible Knight just standing up there.
Had the best stream. Thank you, Envoy. I hope you have a wonderful time, a wonderful day.
Envoy.
Everything. You better win. I will try my best.
We're gonna do so good.
There's men up here.
Just gonna try to get to this next ladder over here. Need to get
Somebody
some levels
give me a weapon, man. I know.
Good. Okay.
Nope, I don't want to.
Oh, no. Miranda flower. Nice. Alright. There's people fighting up here. Someone's losing health bars up here.
Yeah, I'm up here.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Thanks, don't die. Not
I'll try.
today.
Nice.
Okay, nice. All right.
Sweet.
Maria, you coming? You behind us? Yeah, I see
I'm
you. Okay,
here.
okay.
I'm here.
Okay.
I've arrived.
And then I went down this way.
We don't need another NPC, do we? Because the dad is over there?
Nope. We got 3.
Okay. Foxhound, you know exactly why Joe Hendry is 6,000 bits. You know
Rusted anchor down
precisely
here.
why. Ooh. I might take that if you aren't going to use it.
I'm not going to use it.
Okay. I haven't done anything. Not yet. We had a few Joe Hendrys today.
Oh,
Hello.
I forgot about that.
Goodbye.
That plant
There's
said,
what happened away
I'm
from us at once.
fine.
Need to get some souls. Give me the souls. Oh, Bubble
Let me
Man.
see who's in there. Let me see.
Mr. Clean.
A little peek.
These guys not bleed?
It is
Oh.
a magma worm in the arena over there. How do we feel about that?
Oh yeah, look at that. Okay.
Oh, magma worm's not bad.
Okay.
It's good to see you, Foxhound. Hope you're doing good, man.
Yes,
long as everyone
we killed
believes,
Bach, Arena, and who did you kill?
Tops.
Yeah.
Tops. Yep.
Play Silk Song for a bit. Sounds good, Foxhound. Enjoy, man. See you soon. I know it's a little bit more chaotic than usual, so.
Thanks,
I missed a jump. I missed a jump.
Oh, Jurg loves it when I
I'm
say
like
stuff
the
like that.
nerves have got me. I'm fine. I'm good.
Oof, that one.
Should get extra points for taking me under their wings. It really should. Dragging me along. Like a bag of hammers.
So far, I'm the ones who have died.
Oh, I got
in here. Is anybody in here? Oh.
There was somebody who got really mad at me.
Oh, he's
and
gone.
just-
Oh, God.
Oh,
He
I can
disappeared.
upgrade my
GG
flask.
would be
I'm gonna get
proud.
another flask real quick.
I know. I just
So
I just gotta shake the nerves off. I'm good.
We
I'm
don't
good.
share items, right? Like item acquisition.
I don't think so, no.
Okay. I've got
Only
another
like paintings will count for everybody, like things like that. But no,
Oh,
like
okay,
everybody
okay,
has to
okay.
pick up drops. Yeah.
Okay.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna. Are we ready to head into Magma?
I am almost there.
Okay, there should be a point of grace right outside of the magma worm if you need to
I'm
teleport
literally
to it.
dying, so I can literally just go to there.
Okay, perfect.
No, it's all good. It's faster than trying to go all the way around. Leah 9. Oh, it's my car.
Oh, he's gonna
Okay,
charge
okay.
right at the door. Oh, God. Not like this, please.
Please.
Fall off the ledge. Fall off the ledge. Be a good little.
Whoop, me forgetting that it hurt.
Ow. Ooh. Taking a break from Criminal Minds. How many bosses have you done so far? I don't want to talk about it. Not many. It's hard. This game is hard.
100. We did 100. Just not. We were just practicing. They didn't count yet.
Oh, that was close.
That's a normal game mechanic. Yeah. So there are these things in the game called mausoleums, and you can use them to duplicate a boss remembrance weapon.
Oh, sweepies.
Key, thank you.
No. Oh, shit.
Ooh, that's
I've been.
nice.
Oh,
Nice
nice.
done. No, get it. No, get his eye. There we go. Vaccine got me there. Okay.
Oh, no. Oh, okay. I'll jump off.
Oh, we
more.
got him half though.
Yeah, it'd be best to have everybody back, I think.
Yeah.
Into the drink. Is there? Okay, I was like, is there? Ooh.
Creative. You need to get like there wasn't really a good setup off the rip for big strength.
I have the anchor. Do you want it before we go in?
I can take it. Yeah, if you drop it. Yeah, I could probably take it.
Get big bonkin'.
But
Oh, we have
bleed
to
is
switch
also
weapons anyway. So do you want to give
really
me?
valuable.
Yeah, I can. I'll take the hook claws, and then do you
Where are
want my
guys?
blade of
Where
calling?
are you guys?
I'm loading. It just takes a second. The host has to
okay,
load
okay,
first,
okay.
and
Oh,
then
I see,
everybody
I
else
see.
will load. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm here. Okay. Here is, anchor.
Oh yeah. I definitely am not strong enough to equip it, but I'll do my best.
Okay. There's that. No, that option should be turned off in the rando.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, there shouldn't be stats. All right. So there's that. I'll take your hook
How do I
claws
drop
and then discard or leave.
Oh, okay.
Leave. Don't discard. Leave. And then here's my blade of calling. Oh wait, hold on. I have it equipped. I have to unequip it first.
Okay.
Okay, here's.
Oh, I have a flask too.
That.
There's an
and
item
then
on the
I'll
ground
take the
there
hook
that.
claws. Who's? Yeah, who has the hook claws?
That was my.
Okay. I have the anchors. Anybody?
I need the hook claws.
I thought I dropped them already. I definitely did. Oh, there we go. Wait, what? Drop? What do I drop?
Leave, not discard.
Leave.
If they're equipped, you can't. You have to unequip them.
Is it in my in my inventory? Sorry, I was looking at my equipment.
No, you're good.
That was a leave. There we go. Okay.
Okay. Hook claws, got them.
I was too used to night rain. I was like, how do I drop this?
Okay. So we have another wheel spin then.
Yeah. So the the one that we have is play with one hand for 3 minutes.
Okay.
Do we do it right now? Do we
Yeah.
stack them?
Huh?
Well,
Do we stack them?
she did say that she did say that we could do a 3-minute timer. So let's do a 3-minute timer before we do
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
So
That I think that's good.
I think that's fair. Okay.
Charging.
Stop.
Getting
angry. Stop doing that.
Get out of there. Get out of there.
Oh, I didn't get my spirit dingle dangle bell.
Big spin, big spin, big spin.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. In that eyeball. Heck yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh, I love these little geckos that are on our side. Their fire is very distracting. So I can't tell if it's them or no.
Oh, shoot.
Woo.
Spin. Spinning again? You are spinning again.
Nice.
Come again.
Nice. Good job. Yeah, it's not night rain. You can't attack while he's in the sun.
Attack their body to revive. I know, I want to so bad. Spin, spin, spin. Oh, I got hit by it. Fuck.
The tail, yeah.
Oh my goodness, this guy is mean.
I don't remember him going up on 2 legs.
Yeah, he does on phase 2.
Yeah, this is the precipice one.
Mm-hmm.
Or like the
car.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
You got this. You got this. You got this.
Nice.
There you go. There you go.
Good
There you
job.
go. You got him.
That bleed proc. I don't think we have bleed right now. I think we lost the hook claws, didn't we?
Yeah, that's me.
Seems much harder.
Holy polling.
You got him.
Yeah,
No,
I'm
you
the
got
guy
him.
that's usually here very much so, yeah.
Oh yeah, the flames.
Oh.
Whoop. Yeah. mad at me. Ignore the
Nice.
thing that's chomping on you. Let's go.
Nice. Good job.
Get him.
Oh God. Get mad.
Uh-oh. Big slam. Nice dodge.
You got him, guys. You got him.
Yeah, out of the lava.
Nice.
Nice.
You got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Excellent job.
Nice. Oh, not the slam again. Not the slam again. No. Oh.
Oh, damn it.
Oh, all right, Cal, it's all you.
That's okay.
You got it. You got it. You got it. You got him. You got him. You got him.
Slow and steady.
No. That's a weird timing one.
Swing. Very good. Good job.
No, the lava.
Nice.
No.
So
That's
close.
okay. That's okay. It's okay.
Blew it.
No,
It's okay.
you
We got
didn't
this. We
blow
got
it.
this. We got this.
Oh, I wonder if I
Y'all
hit his
blew
face
it.
there if he would have died or staggered, but that's okay.
It's okay. It's okay.
Can I
Yeah, see,
keep
it says
this?
defeat the boss, replacing the Limgrave Tree Sentinel.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Oh, well, so what happens if
So what
if
happens
it's
if
not
ours is
there?
gone?
He's dead.
If it's defeated, I guess we can go back there in a bit and see.
Dang it.
Yeah, I watched his health bar go away, so I think he like got stuck in the environment and died.
I wonder
think
if
he hurt
we
himself
didn't
and
get a
died.
whole bunch of souls, though. I would have expected to get like a butt ton, but
We may have been too far.
That's true too. Here it comes. Oh, God.
Angry.
Yangy. No, not right here, please.
Can you stop with the lava, please, my guy?
Dude, stop. Spin.
No, don't spit on me.
Nice.
Okay, who's up there?
Get the bleed if you
got
can.
him?
Yep. I'm just waiting a little bit to try and get a bleed.
Yeah.
All of us being like, let me hit him. Oh, damn.
The spin got both of us?
Ah!
Oh, okay. Hey, Shinigami! What's up, Shinigami? Hello, hello.
Hello.
Bleh.
Bleh. Bleh.
All right. We got this.
This is the one. This is the one.
This is the one.
Let's go.
Ah, we had him so close too. Fuck.
I know. Oh my god,
Shinigami, hope you're doing good,
Hi,
dude.
driver. Okay.
Alright. Let's do this. Go Team Pink. Alright, he's doing this.
Got the zoomies.
Fall off. Fall off real quick.
Oh my goodness, imagine.
Imagine?
if you just
Oh my
backed
God.
up. That would be so good. I would be so happy.
Nice. Shinigami got another shiny at full odds. Oh man, I'm gonna buy a lottery ticket, dude. Spin, spin, spin.
Ah, of course. Oh, okay. We are right on the precipice, so
Yeah.
I got. Damn.
Yeah.
Oh.
We need to bring him
Oh, we
in
put me
here.
with the scoops. Nice Shinigami, hell yeah.
Sir, please. Sir, please.
Oh, he just needs to charge forward. He just needs to do his magma
Nice.
charge
Spin,
straight
spin, spin.
forward. That would be so good.
Oh, I didn't see that. Oh. Nice.
Nice.
I'm stuck under his wing. I can get out. I can't get out.
That's okay. I feel like your job is just to hit him with the bleed. I think just to whack, 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 whack. Like I'll try to hit the staggers and then
This anchor is so cool.
it's so good. Oh my gosh. Slam. Nice.
Nice bleed. Good, good, good.
Oh, he got me because I can't see within his
Damn.
legs. Oh, you're there, though.
Good stagger. Good stagger.
He's so careful on that edge there.
Oh,
On my screen, your stamina bar just went.
I know it flies across. It's great.
Oh.
Whew.
No.
I do appreciate that. Without, outside of a few attacks, he can't just one shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do have a chance at least.
Nice.
Yes.
Get out of there. Get out of the lava. Oh, got right into it.
Oh, that was disrespectful.
Rude, even. Pretty freaking
Slam.
rude.
It's not me, but yeah, it's an anchor. It's Cal.
Oh, the lava.
Oh, be careful.
You got it, you got it, you got it. Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah.
Let's go, GG's! Okay. Woo! That's one.
All right.
All right, so how do we mark our like main objectives?
I think we just just know that we do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Gonna level up.
Yeah. Let us back. How much
yeah,
did we
I died.
get?
3,000. Not like a whole lot, but.
I was gonna say if we have 10K, I'll just die, but.
Oh. All right. I'm gonna teleport. So that's a good. I'm gonna teleport up to the lake and kind of keep things moving up there.
Yep. All right.
Let's go. All right. Thank you, creative. So easy. All right, where's my horse? Yeah, those who are new or hanging out, we're participating in a Firekeepers randomized seamless co-op race. So we're playing with Maria and
Hello.
Pink today.
Hello.
And I'm Cal, for anybody who doesn't know me. Yeah, we're having some fun. That was a wild fight. He's a jerk. Oh my god! Oh, I'm getting mugged. Oh god.
Okay. Where are we going next? So you said that you were Cal, where did you say you were going?
I was going up to the lake. as far north as I could to try to get into Raya Lucaria.
Okay, and we're not doing the. Are we giving up on the Marga fight? The quote unquote
For
Marga
now,
part for
I
night?
think we do. Like,
Okay.
it's she feels like it's going to be a bit of a wall.
Mhm.
At least we can see what other stuff is going on. Is there any other objectives or anything that we can accomplish while we're down low?
I think I'm in
Maybe if somebody
loading
wants to take a
limbo
run
again.
over to the bottom of the precipice ruins to be able to like get us going up there,
Okay.
The ruin stream, yeah.
like in the
What would be
valley
the
thing.
best ways to start
need to
doing that?
Force quit again.
I don't know how to get there.
Okay.
But I
let's see here.
can. I just need to know
Oh, did I
which
not?
general direction I need to go.
Pretty much get to the lake and just go north, like as far as you can.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oops. Oh shoot! I keep using. I screwed up my shortcuts and keep trying to use the wrong item. Oh, solid Cal. Soup. What's up, Soup?
Love soup.
Suplex. How you doing, partner? We're doing good, man. We're having some fun today. We're shared chatting. We're participating in a Elden Ring seamless co-op randomized race. There's 5 teams. We are team number 4. Team Pink.
So pink.
Yeah. We're having some fun, man. So far, so good.
Oh, I'm stuck.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, hold on.
It's good to see you, Soup.
Okay, you said just to keep going north.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Team Pink!
I know, Key. Thank you, though, but I know. It didn't show anything.
The dragon in Liurnia Lake guarding the key is an ancient dragon. Land
Just
sex.
run.
Yeah. I'm just going to get the key and leave.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I did get the key, so I'll work on getting over to Renala.
Okay.
Great stream today, Soup. Hope you had some fun, man. Exploring some of the older Wii titles. Playing a whole bunch of old Wii games.
Ooh, what were you playing?
I was playing like, what was it, like Dangerous Animals? You were playing. There's a couple of
you do
old
show up on
ones.
the map. If we get the overworld maps, you do show up on the
Oh, nice.
the overworld maps.
I didn't know
Louise
that.
got some juice. You just gotta look. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, a graveyard. Nice. Smithing Stone 3, Smithing Stone 1. That's another thing I can't neglect.
Okay, sir. I just spawned in. Disrespectful.
I saw a knight, but it wasn't ouch! Rude.
Oh, like a
Not a
sentinel knight?
sentinel.
Okay. Okay.
Nah. I was hoping it was, though. I ran right up to it and said, "Are you my friend?" And they said, "No."
No.
Nah, dog. Nah, dog. Go away.
Okay.
Academy
it's
Town
happening
Gates.
to me.
South Lucaria Gate. There we go.
Oh, there's a warp out here, and I don't remember where it goes to. I don't think it's useful for us today, but
Yeah, you basically just stay in the lake and hug that right wall, pretty much all the way up. Right, I'm inside the school.
Okay. It just
going to
took me with you, I think. No, it just took me off my horse. That's so weird.
I'm dropping anchor.
oh, don't shoot my face. Jeez.
All right. How long have we been going now? Probably like half an hour?
Just about.
40
Yeah, we
minutes?
started.
Yeah,
we started a little late.
Okay.
I'm trying to get up to the precipice. It's the Grace at the bottom.
Okay.
Oh, there's a I don't know what to call. I don't remember what they're called. The Ding Dong Bing Bong Boys, the big
Mausoleum?
big bell mausoleums. Yeah,
Coliseum guys?
super
Mausoleum.
stuck on the terrain.
Perfect.
Oh.
Okay. I'm getting some graces in here.
Hmm.
At this point, I'm just running.
Is that
past
ping on the
everything.
map for me?
No,
Okay.
that's just
Just
where
wanna
I'm
make sure.
heading. Because I don't have, we don't have the map yet, so I don't want to lose my
Oh, okay.
direction.
Okay.
My body, that hurt. Oh god.
Leave me alone. This is just bringing back PTSD of crowd control stuff. Like, oh my gosh. I had 10 Melanias spawned.
What? That's wild.
That's so
That's
goofy.
wild.
I killed one of them. But they it didn't take too long to beat me down.
Okay, I'm outside the school gate. By Miss Finger Reader.
Okay. I'm almost at the wolf in Rylucaria. The grace for the wolf is got.
Yep,
I'm
I
at
see.
that grace now. I'll take a peek. I don't really want to go into boss fights without this. I'm scared of it.
Without
As
what?
we disconnect, like I don't want to go into boss fights without you guys.
Yeah, let me just touch this Grace, and I can come in there and then come back here.
Yeah, I can come in.
Oh, nice. That's great.
Which point of
Schoolhouse
grace are you at?
classroom
The-
should be.
It is. Let me see if I can get
church.
the name of it real quick.
The Church of the Cuckoo or the main
Yeah,
academy?
schoolhouse classroom.
Schoolhouse classroom, yeah.
I'm coming out.
We might have to fight our way up to it a little bit because there's, or we
Yeah,
can just run.
but
and
it's not too bad.
See. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some guys up here.
Yeah, there's a banished knight there, so it's just kind of.
There's
Let's go in and just go a little quick.
Where are you, Maria? Are you coming?
Yeah, I just spawned in.
Perfect.
Hello. Oh, I saw you.
Oh, come on. I want to die before I even get in here because
Oh.
there's a banished knight who just literally pinned me in this corner.
Okay.
Pink, I'm also here.
Yep.
Although I don't know. I heard you through. Oh, jeez. That's a big dog.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
That's such bull.
Okay, I'm go. Oh, he hit me from 2 states away.
Not this. Nope. Oh, jeez.
Is it the banished knight who just got
Banished
you?
knight with a sword. Yeah.
Yes, he
He's a
pinned. He
jerk.
literally got me stuck in a
He's
corner.
huge.
All right, we hold hands and we go all at the same time.
Yeah, I'm respawning now.
Okay,
Can I get a secondary weapon? I have a
Do
dagger.
you have? Yeah, somebody.
Oh,
I think
that's
Pink had
me.
a
Wait,
second
come here.
dagger,
That's
yeah.
me. I think I did. Did I
I'm
not
at
drop
the-
both of them? Hold on, I'm at
No,
the
I
Grace.
just have
I'm
the
running back.
one.
That was me. I'm an a-hole. I'm sorry. Here.
Oh,
It's
that is a big
okay.
dog.
Dog is trying to chase you.
Yeah.
Oh, he coming. Oh, he coming. Oh, he coming.
Oh,
There
he
you go.
coming. Oh, he coming.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
Oh, no,
Thank you.
really?
Thank you, I got it. Oh.
jeepers. Hands off.
Okay.
All right. Now we rush boss.
Yep.
Okay.
Time for a boss. No, not slug. Not time for
Just
not
careful
slug.
of the.
Oh, there's gonna be a
Guy
banish
here.
too right here. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just going. I'm going. I'm going.
Okay, got him.
All right, I'm in.
Oh.
All right.
It is
Renala?
Literally,
Renala. We can do that. Listen, that's possible.
All right.
And just like a bunch of young
Oh
new
my god, the
people?
banished net's here!
Well, all right. Hello. Almost dying.
Oh, she's got so much health. Watch her boom. Oh, shit.
Yep.
Oh,
well, we had no health coming in because we got hit by the banished knight.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll dive in. Kill me, please.
Yeah, the banished knight was in the doorway.
End me! End me!
I'm going out in the library.
I love going out on books.
We're almost at 10k runes. Well, I'm almost at 10k runes, so.
Oh my gosh, she's just spend them, level up.
No, I'm gonna die
Well,
and
yeah,
then
we're
spend
gonna
them.
Oh yeah, okay. That's good.
Listen, Pinksy's going on hard mode for us.
Mm-hmm.
For the cause.
For the cause.
Okay, are you guys spawning
I'm
back
loading right now.
Yeah.
in? Okay, sounds good.
Damien?
Perfect. So I'm just gonna level up real quick too. Oh, that probably reset some shit. Sorry.
It's okay.
Okay,
Oh, I didn't
good.
even check. Oh, I'm gonna actually.
All right, this banished knight needs to go away.
Yeah,
Go
we need to get
away.
him first.
Future. Oh my god, he didn't care. Oh! Oh no!
Did I spoil
Where'd he go?
everything?
Oh, he's back!
We were fighting the banished knight.
Oh, he's full health!
I'm so sorry! Oh god! Here, I'm coming. I'm gonna come in. I'm gonna fix my mistake.
Just keep jump attacking him.
I'm gonna
Stagger,
get this
stagger,
fucking
stagger.
Okay, he got
slug.
me. It's okay.
Also.
Oh wait, no,
Yeah,
that means
you,
I just
you
lost
show
my
that slug.
6k.
Yeah, you get him.
Well, he was shooting
There we
goop
go.
at you.
Perfect.
I forgot that whole thing where if one person sits out a thing, all
Oh,
of
it reset.
everyone gets their
Yeah.
health back. Now that makes sense.
All right.
right. He was the big headache. I
Good to
think
go?
everything
Alright, let's do
else
it.
will be okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get in there and
Careful of these soldiers. Yeah.
distribute these library fees.
Oh my
You've
god.
got a
he
late
did
book,
not just
and I'm
chase
here to
me down like
collect.
that.
That's a big jellyfish. It is very fun to see just the randomest things being in here.
Come on, let me in.
Come on, Annie's. Let me in.
Where is he?
Well, the
Here
good
he
thing is all the kids have to like be here.
There's just a
No more chasing
collection
them
of
around the whole
children
library.
beating the shit out of a bunch of these kids. How many more do we got to beat? What the heck?
I think it's the ones who are. It's just the ones who are.
It's the ones
Yeah,
who
it's
are
the ones that
yellow,
are gold,
right?
but it's usually only
Yeah.
hit 5
Oh, there we
and she
go.
falls.
Okay, there we go. All right.
Get down here, mother. Mother.
Watch out for her explosion here too. Get a
Yeah,
couple hits and
when
then
she
get out.
glows.
Yeah. All right, get out, get out, get out. Oh, her bubble isn't there anymore for me? Oh,
Oh,
no,
it
it
is for me. It's there.
Don't bite me.
Where's the yellow one? I don't see it.
Over here. Stop throwing books at me! I can't
Stop
read
biting
girl.
me.
Nice.
Ah.
The fire everywhere is ridiculous.
I can never tell. This is janky as heck. Oh gosh.
Ah, you're right here.
There she comes.
All right, I think she's down.
She's gonna fall.
I think. Is she not?
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
falling.
no,
She's
she's-
just taking her time.
Slightly delayed.
Nice bleed. All right, back.
Stop singing.
Reading and singing? Not today, children. She's down.
Listen, if she doesn't have any children to sing and throw books, this is good.
Back. Oh.
Ah,
Oh my gosh.
I don't know how I lived, but I did.
Stop throwing bugs at me.
Oh, books. Oh. Algebra hurts. Okay, I think she's coming down.
Yep, she's coming down.
Yep. Nice tasty bleed proc. Yeah, there it is.
Oh,
there's the
jeez.
burst. All right, I have no more heals.
I also have no heals.
Okay.
And I just got hit by something.
Got done in by a
book, I think. I don't know.
Copy of where the red fern grows. There it is. That's a book that I.
Is she coming down? Oh, she is.
Yeah.
Bully her! Bully her!
One more phase.
Preemptively move away because I'm scared to die.
Yeah.
Don't you throw your books at me.
I swear this fight has gotten louder since we started.
Yes, I agree.
The music, yeah, it's so intense for some reason.
Oh, she's down again. Oh my god.
First.
She's going back up.
No, not like this. Oh, books.
Oh, fire!
Books.
Careful!
Ow, stop!
Ah, done in by a book. No. I think you got it though, Cal. I think you got it.
Let's do this.
Yeah, just, yeah.
Oh. Where is he? There he is. Come here, you.
Nice. She's breaking. There she is. Yep.
You got it. Yeah, get mad in the library. Yell in the library.
Get mad.
That'll make them
I
mad.
don't believe in libraries. Well, I do believe it. I love libraries. I support them. I support
your
them.
local library, everyone.
Support your local libraries. We love libraries. I just don't.
I don't
It's
know
a me
how
thing.
to read.
Ah.
All right. There we go. Learning is awesome. Yeah, exactly. Yes. I support, to be clear, I support libraries in every way.
Yes, please. Libraries are such a good resource. There's so much free things that you can do to learn and educate yourself and not be taken advantage of by institutions, etc., etc. Let's go, libraries!
When it's time to party, we will party hard. Okay, you guys are
In the
spawning
library.
Yeah, I'm running up now.
Perfect.
Whoa, now that was rude.
Lucky I
I
took a
don't
vow
like
to
being
behave.
stabbed through the stairs.
Where are? Oh, you okay? I was like,
Yeah, I didn't think to spawn. I just was running. Also, I think I have 10,000 if I wanted.
Oh,
if we
nice.
wanted. Oh, I do. Do we?
Do you want to
You
just
should
throw
perish.
this way?
You should simply perish.
I will simply perish because I've leveled up a couple of times and think you haven't leveled up at all, right?
I haven't. Mm-mm.
Dog,
Zion.
come eat me! Eat
Zion, I
me!
clarified my position very clearly. I feel like
Consume. I've
at
perished
first-
with 10,000, everyone.
Yay! I'm gonna mark it.
Hooray.
Oh wait,
Yay!
I haven't. Oh, hang on. I haven't lost them yet. I did pick them up
No,
accidentally.
it just says die while holding 10K. It doesn't say you have to lose
Oh.
them.
Easy.
We did
Boom.
easy.
Yeah.
Easy
Zion,
clap.
I was
Let's
very
go.
clear on my clarification language. I used the wrong words at first, and then we clarified just to make sure. I love libraries.
I love
Cool.
libraries.
Well, I'm gonna go get. I'm gonna go
Libraries
pick those back
rule.
up and then level up a bunch because it's just right outside these doors here. I didn't have to go
These
very far at
doors.
all.
I'm just gonna go. I'll go up to Renala.
But we just might have.
Oh god.
We just might have.
Sounds like damage control. Oh, I'm bad with words a lot of the time.
Okay, are y'all good if I level up, or do you
Yep.
want to wait?
Yep.
Cool.
I'm just gonna open the shortcut out here. And I should be good to go to the next boss arena here very soon.
Oh,
shortcut is
we
pretty
all
much
have
open.
to go there, isn't that? Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Cool. My dex is at 20 now.
Ooh, let's go.
Already. All right,
Alright.
here I come.
Shortcut's open. There's just 30 dudes in this hallway. Oh my god.
Only 30.
I have no flasks for the next fight.
I almost went.
I haven't picked up a single
shortcuts
new
open. You
weapon
said.
yet.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna die here though. There's too much. Too much. I have 1 flask left. Oh. Yeah, let's just die and reset, I think. Or I'll reset.
Oh, I did not. I went the wrong way. I've gone the wrong direction. Oh. Hello.
Hello. Goodbye.
Nope, I'm coming with
All right.
you.
Team reset.
That's so many ants.
It's
just ants and ants and flowers and hands and this guy.
And 1 man.
And one lost gentleman.
All right.
Okay,
where
so
is...
what
Maria's
are
loading
we?
in, right? Okay.
Yeah, I'm loading in. What are
Okay.
What is our next objective? What are we attempting
Renala
to do?
Arena right now.
Renala Arena.
The Renala Arena. Okay.
Yeah. So we're gonna leave this door, go left.
Yeah, there's
go
just
through
not
the
a
shortcut.
grace. There's just not
Yeah.
a grace between here and there. Great. So we have to stay together on this one.
We're just gonna hoof it. There's an elevator we all have to get on. So. And before we go into the boss arena, we should probably send the elevator back just in case, to be considerate to ourselves. Don't do that.
Go away, Ant. I'm stuck. I'm so stuck. I can't. I'm literally so stuck. There we go. Okay. Whew.
You in?
Okay.
Oh, now I'm
Yep.
stuck on you. Let's go.
Excuse me.
What
why
the
are
heck
you
is
here?
that thing?
Excuse me.
Why is he not?
Pardon. We're busy. I'm poisoned. Oh, how
Oh no.
lovely for me. Oh.
Excuse me. Oh no, you guys are both poisoned. Oh,
Yep.
no.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Oh, rock hard and packing. What's up, dude? Good to see you. All right, I will send this back
I'll open
down.
the door. Animation will take forever.
Excuse me. Oh yeah.
God, this
Oh.
poison is so rough.
Who is it? Can we see yet? I can't see yet.
No, they haven't spawned in yet.
All right, skipping.
Oh, because it's a
cutscene.
cutscene.
I'm skipping. God.
Oh, this is fine.
Yeah, this is great.
Nothing. Easy. Just, you know, they had to poison us beforehand. Oops, now I died. Godskin Noble, Queen of the Full Moon. That's very funny.
Yes, Queen. Yes.
Yes, Queen.
Oh my God. Okay.
Skin my gods. Listen, we were both coming in at a huge debuff. So the fact that we died is not surprising to me.
How much? Okay. All right. Okay. I'll just die. Okay.
Wow.
Perfect.
Does hit really hard though.
Does hit
Harder
hard.
than
Yeah.
I remember.
Especially when you have half your health bar gone because of poison.
Scooch on by, just on your left. Just scooch on.
Excuse me.
Right. How goes it? It's pretty good so far there, Rockhard. We're participating in a seamless randomized race today. So we're team number 4 out of 5 teams. We're playing with Pink. We're playing with Maria.
Me.
Anybody who doesn't know me, I'm Cal. Yeah, so far so good. It's been a bit of an adventure. I'm just running.
Wow,
just
I
run.
was basically dead. I would like to not be.
Yeah, so far so good.
Jeez.
Get in here.
I got a face full of ant and had 1 hit point.
Run! All right.
No.
Get your weird little shield out of here. All right, don't hit the elevator yet. Oh, God.
Yeah.
I'm coming. Me with my 5 HP.
Okay.
Stay up. You don't get to
Fall
come
to
on
your
in.
death.
You
No. Fall to your
go
death.
away.
Give me your
Do
runes.
it. Do it, you coward. Perfect. All right, Godskin, your lizards if you have them too.
Yep, I just did. I'm gonna scooch around you.
Bonfire. Whoa. This will be an interesting when he starts rolling.
Yeah. Isn't this a double one where the
Is it, it's a 2-phase fight? Oh
the
gosh.
skinny baby comes in too?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
If they weren't here together, I don't think they'll just show up.
This is a 2-phase fight though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely two-phased.
Yes.
Get got, buddy. Ow, no, don't get me. No.
Oof.
Stick around the books.
Roly poly.
Rolling. Oh,
Oh, we got rid of all the
literally
books.
on me.
Hey, that's nice. Ow, my polies. They've been
Oh,
rolling.
a combo. Oh, the bookcase is gone now. Ah!
Yeah, really,
Yeah, the
really
bookcases do
clearing
not
up the
protect you.
battlefield. All right.
Oof. This is a tough arena.
Yeah.
I've been cleaved.
Oh, so have I. Damn.
No.
This guy's tricky.
This arena is not
Okay.
really good for him.
It does stink. I should just die, right?
If he gets cheesed into a corner, except he doesn't, he goes through the actual
Yeah, he goes
terrain.
through the pillars. Mm-hmm. That's why I was like, oh, the books will protect you.
Spins forever.
No, they don't protect.
Ouch.
He wants to be Sonic.
I should just die. Kill me! Do it!
There we go.
You go.
Cow can't die.
Kill me! What are you waiting for?
Do it! I dare you!
Okay. What else do we have? Do we have anything else?
We'll have to
Any, like,
eventually
runes?
go down to Margit again.
Yep.
Yeah, Margaret and Godric.
We can try.
And then I'm,
if you want to swap
I'm
it up,
at
we
the
can
base
try
of
that one.
the. I'm close to the
I think
precipice.
We can try
probably
one
get this.
more here.
Sure.
I think we got it.
Getting bonus points for getting through the trek would be good too. Like getting through the precipice runes. Because that's just a bonus objective, right? We just get points for that.
We're going the long way, not the shortcut way.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm trying
I'm sorry.
to kite some of the ants away.
I totally brain farted.
That's okay. I was just
that
following
they
you, and I
don't-
was like, oh, okay. Apparently we're going this way.
Out of the way, ants! No.
This way is
Jeez.
nicer. There's no ants anymore.
Yeah, I was gonna say take the long way if you want, because ants be bad. Ants in my pants. Actually, yeah, you all got there faster than I did, and I took the shortcut.
Oh shit. Okay. All right. He's got a flamethrower.
Just get him
Get
off
on, get
for
on,
a
get on.
second
Yeah,
so we
there we
can
go.
take the thing.
You can't sit with us.
He fell.
Bye.
He fell. Goodbye. All right, let's do this again. We got this time.
All right.
Thank you for your
Oh, let's
freezing
go,
freeze
guys.
and your
Grease,
runes.
thank you for your freeze.
Ooh, that actually might be huge.
Right.
Ding-a-ling. Oh, that hurts.
I got.
No, Pig, no.
I got.
Got his butt. Got you.
Rare.
Yeah, I tried to be, yeah,
Oh,
that's
jeez.
exactly what I
Yeah,
tried to
got
do,
caught.
Cal. I tried to be slick and I tried to equip my freezing grease in the middle of that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just die. Oh, it killed me.
Alright, but now my grease
Okay.
is equipped, so.
What do we want to
All
do?
of our death screams. Why don't we go back to the beginning and try, since we've got some levels in us now.
Okay.
We could go try the starter one again.
Sure. Okay.
Loretta, yeah.
Yeah,
It is Castle Word Tunnel.
Castle Word Tunnel.
Castle Word Tunnel. Secret tunnel.
Oh, he had a combo too. What the heck does a combo even do? I never even seen it. Like, it's like day 2 of combos. But oh god, oh you guys are. Oh no. Oh, you guys are floating.
Something. Okay.
Because I'm teleporting right now.
Tunnel.
But thank you for the bits. I think Rock Hard and Packet. It looks like you sent a bunch of bits, but thank you. I think.
Woo.
The information that I see, it's very unclear, and I'm not used to interpreting it. But Rock Hard and Packet, thank you. Dude. Can I what? Sorry, one more time.
Can you Rogier? See here?
I don't see it.
I don't
only
see
the host sees them. Yeah, no, only the host sees the summon signs. Oh no, there's 3 of us. He won't show up.
Oh. Oh, man,
a
sheep.
Firekeepy?
Sheep. Hi, sheep. Oh gosh.
This is a what a fight.
Okay. This is totally cool and fun.
Okay, she doesn't hit as hard as that. Oh no, just jump off the edge though.
She
does not hit as hard as that Godskin.
Hello and welcome, hi cat.
Hi chat.
Hello and welcome everybody.
Raiders.
Those who don't know what's going on, we're doing a Firekeepers Randomized Seamless Co-op race. It's a mouthful.
It's a lot to say.
Loretta the Fell Omen. Yeah, we're so far so good. We're team number 4 out of 5. We've accomplished one of the objectives so far. We killed the Leon and Misbegotten boss. So we're doing all right. We're doing all right. There's some nasty bosses out here, man. We've encountered some.
I thought we had done more than one objective.
Well, we've done 2 bonus objectives, but we've only done 1 main objective so far.
Well, hi Sheep. Sheep, how you're playing some Hollow Knight. What's up, Glitch? What's up, Greg?
Love
Oolong
Hollow
Cat.
Knight.
Oh yeah. No kicks. No kicks. Oh, Jelly's here too. Hi, Jelly.
Ah.
Jelly, it's good to see you. Ooh, don't shoot that at me. Don't shoot that. Yeah, Loretta the Fell Omen is cursed.
It's really good. I do think it's funny that it keeps the same like voice lines.
Yeah.
So it's Loretta, but with
let's go.
Nice.
All
right, let's go.
Let's go. Nice. Okay.
All right.
Lots of levels. Nice. Very well done.
So next we've got Godric.
Deep Nest sucks. Deep Nest does suck. You're
Deep
right.
Nest is so rough. Yeah.
Do 2 of you want to push through the castle?
Dying
and I
and
will
lose it
finish
is for the
pushing to
10K,
precipice?
by the way. Dying and losing it. So I'm gonna just jump off here real quick, and then I'm gonna do it again and lose my 10K.
Oh, do it.
Oh, dying and lose it. Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
They
just
clarified in the Discord.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna do that real quick. I can, if you wanna start heading that direction, I'll just catch up with y'all.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Somebody had a suggestion.
I'm gonna keep pushing to the precipice, Grace. That's right at the base.
Okay.
If you guys want to push castle.
Perfect.
Okay. Yeah, I just gotta jump off a cliff real quick, and then I'll do that.
I'll use the main
Hiya!
gate. Hi, Jelly. Jelly, it's good to see you. Yes,
All right,
Deep
now it's
Nest
official,
does
everyone.
suck.
Okay.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, Deep Nest is really rough in Hollow Knight. I feel like between that and the Mantis Village, like earlier game, is also rough because there's not a lot of benches in Hollow Knight when you get there, and they're a little bit annoying.
Using the main gate in the castle, like usually you're not supposed to because of the. I got booty snatched by the. Oh my god.
No, not the booty.
The abductor virgin.
Are you gonna go on a journey?
I don't think so. She let me. She spat me out.
Sorry, I just healed everything. I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay. I wish you would have done it 5 seconds earlier. I would have been.
Right. All right. Okay.
But we opened the gate and there's no ballistas because there's bats occupying the ballistas.
I have touched the Grace at the base of the precipice.
Okay. I will head to the next Grace And should we do that one together because that's a bonus objective one?
Well, this one we have to do together. This one is as a team.
Yes.
So whatever you
So
guys.
after I get this race, do you want me to come there, or do you want me to try to get to Godric here?
We should try to push Godric.
Okay,
This is
I'll do
just
that.
available for the next one, so I'm
Not
coming
this.
to you guys now.
No, buddy. Oh God. Everyone bad just showed up here all together. I've perished. I got attacked by a chimera and also big mommy lady with the. She's just.
Oh, there's one of the hands that's far, far, far too big here. Oh God.
Oh no.
Oh gravy. Oh gravy. Don't stop. Don't look back. Don't look back.
Okay. Are we teleporting to?
Gosh. I almost have another grace.
We're pushing through Stormvale.
Okay.
Yep.
To get to
I'm
Godric.
almost at the one at the elevator.
Yeah.
Okay. I just got it. I'm gonna reset everything.
Yes, please do.
I'm porting over.
Nice.
Cause I perished real hard. How?
Hello. Let's do this. All right, I'm heading over to the Godric one.
Just the largest ant over there. That's great.
There's just a beast
Oh,
man
I see your
standing on the
giant,
fence.
your giant hand. Yeah, I see it now.
Okay.
Oh my gosh,
getting to
is
Godric.
that the giant hand that's like in the finger runes?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Oh, there's a dragon!
Oh, hey,
This
you
is
know,
good,
well,
this
that's
is
not
good.
terrible. Yeah,
I'm gonna
that's
grab
not
this
bad.
grace first. I'm gonna grab the grace, and then let's get this dragon and the dragon at Agheel Lake as well.
There's so many ads around here, though.
There's a lot, yeah. Well, I mean, we can reset the fight at this grace,
Yeah,
and then kind of
yeah.
like back them up onto it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Perfect.
Okay. Yeah, I do need to. I'm gonna.
Okay. Where
Make sure I respawn here.
is Pink is coming?
I just touched the grace that's at the left side
Okay.
chamber.
Perfect. Okay. Oof. Oof. I should go upgrade my weapon too.
Oh yeah, I haven't done that.
I haven't even gotten a new like a decent weapon.
Tail sweeps.
Oh, he doesn't even have room to like do anything.
Nice.
Nice.
I can't even see this guy's health bar. Where is it? Oh, there it is.
Oh, he's only got like 36 left. He's like barely there. There we go.
Nice.
All right, one dragon down.
Beastman down. Beastman here though. Beastman. There we go. Oh, he didn't give us a dragon heart though.
Oh shoot.
Oh,
It's
you're
okay.
so right.
Good experience.
Okay.
All right.
Let's touch this
Level
grace.
up Godfrey or Godric. Oh, I can't even level down. Awkward.
Yeah, I can't either.
Yeah, I can't level here.
Okay.
Oh, there's a bug
A
up
beetle.
here.
I just saw it.
Ash
Yeah.
beetle.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if it's.
Okay, this is a two-phase fight too, right? I think this is Margit. I think I saw Margit.
What is it?
Oh, nope.
Oh.
It's Horlu.
Well, we're here.
Oh god.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this
Oh.
is rude.
Okay.
Are you gonna be soft? Nope.
Okay.
Ow.
We only have to get him half though, I think. I'm gonna get
All right.
Salamander
He
out.
moves entirely too much. Oh. Okay.
I do not remember this man at all.
Oh no! No, not the 720! No!
Oh.
Oh!
And now,
Oh, he's ripping.
my
it.
God.
take my bones out of my body.
He casts Debone at the 4th level.
Why don't I remember this fight? I feel like I would remember a giant Street Fighter angry man.
Yeah, this
He's
is
like the
Zangief.
second to last boss.
My bones! Yeah, he's like he's at the very, very, very end.
Okay.
He starts off as Godfrey.
God, this is a
Oh, that's
rude
why then.
fight.
Okay.
Bro. My guy.
To the sky with you.
I cast up!
Smash.
To the ground.
Oh my god.
Just completely
At least you don't have to go very far.
just
These
shovel
ones
my
are-
spine. Wait,
guys
somebody
are
they got
tough.
2 dragon hearts. How?
One in the lake, and they may have found another one, maybe.
Yeah, but I mean, if the one on the lakes are not going to be randomized.
All right, Bug, come here.
Oh, I guess the dragon that
Oh
we
yeah,
fought,
Key,
maybe we
wait
didn't
till
get a
we get
dragon heart
here
'cause
in
it
base
wasn't-
game.
If the dragon we fought wasn't a named dragon, do you just name dragons give dragon hearts?
I don't know.
I think so,
Not
actually.
sure. We could take him. We could take him. Oh, jeepers.
Oh,
gosh.
I just
No,
walked into
don't
your
do that.
terrible.
Oh my god, full split kick. That's insane.
God, this arena is going to suck for him because he's so mobile. Sir.
Kind of rude them giving us a
Oh,
final
no!
boss.
I don't think I've ever experienced that firsthand. There he throws you into the sky.
All right, end me, please. Do it.
This one might be tough.
Okay, do you want to
this is a rough
go
one.
up the precipice?
Yeah, let's try the
Yeah.
precipice.
Okay. Okay. Or do you want to try? Do you want to do the dragon at the very start?
Oh, let's go see who that is. Yeah.
Right.
Let's go dragon. Yeah, because you said there was also an ancient dragon somewhere, right?
Oh, there is. Yeah. Oh god, where was that?
Oh, where? Yeah, where the key
Those
was.
are probably the 2 dragon hearts that they were talking about.
Oh, that was the dragon at guarding the key.
Yeah, guarding the key. Yeah.
Ellie, you're fine.
Okay. If this guy
Where's your
drops a heart, then maybe we go over there and get that one too.
All right. So the precipice then.
So I went to the first.
Oh,
step.
you went to the yeah. That's
Yeah.
right. You went to the dragon.
Yeah.
My bad.
I'm gonna grab the map real quick for Limgrave,
Sure.
so that I can, because we do show up on the map, and I keep
Yeah.
losing. I keep losing people because I'm bad at seeing things.
Where are my friends? Where are
I
they?
keep losing.
Oh, this
my
is just
friends.
Borealis. Okay.
Okay. I could go either way,
Borealis,
really.
more like boring Alice. Am
Also a
Am I
bird
right?
here?
am I right?
Oh dear.
Ellie, get down, please.
Lobster, leave me alone.
Nice job, Zine. Nice job. I'm sure they appreciate it. Oh
Heck
gosh, he's very
yeah.
strong. He's very, very potent.
Okay.
Ooh, I saw that one hit.
Yeah, this guy.
Oh, I see.
Oh my gosh, I do no
Yeah.
damage.
Yeah, this is spooky. I think precipice.
So how did they do this?
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe they didn't do this one, maybe they did a different one.
I think we just leave. I think this is a waste of time.
Oh, I just got a blade proc though.
Yeah. Okay.
Never fear, I'm here now.
Alright. We're gonna go to the precipice, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
We're
10
just bailing
damage,
on
that's
this?
a lot.
Yeah, this guy is.
Yeah, I think we need to.
He's too beefy.
Yep.
It satisfies your ADHD to clean the rat cages? Hell yeah.
Clean. Love a king.
Ellie, go lay down. Oh, there's a dragon across the way too, but that's not a named dragon.
Oh, whereabouts?
Oh, is there?
Yeah, but it's not. It's probably not gonna be named.
Okay.
I'll swing by. I'll swing by there on Torrent and see you.
What's up, Hero?
There's also just
Ravine
absolute
Veiled
bullshittery
Village.
around it.
Yeah, I just need to not be.
Well, it just despawned, so who knows?
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. It's just like it. I don't know where it was supposed to go. It's not here anymore.
It wouldn't have been named because it wouldn't. There's not a second dragon over there. The only thing I can think of is they literally just picked up dragon hearts randomly in drops.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you go to, aren't there dragon hearts? If you go to temples, or no?
Oh gosh. Oh no.
I
What up,
don't
Hero?
think so.
How's the game? So far, so good, man. We're doing a Elden Ring seamless co-op randomized race. Yeah, we're having some fun today. So far, so good. We're team number 4 out of 5. Tay-Ray 3 is on team number 1.
Woohoo!
Yeah. The battle for glory in this household. But I hope you're doing good, Euro. It's good to see you, man. All right. Where are you guys at?
I went up the first 2 ladders.
Okay. Oh, at the precipice place?
Yep.
Oh, shoot. I'm sorry. I didn't realize that. Oh my god, I've been murdered. Some kind of Firekeeper's Souls Gauntlet type. Exactly.
Sure feels like a gauntlet. But like in a fun way.
Yeah, totally not in an anxious
All
way.
right, heading up. Sorry, I didn't realize that you guys
Am
were
I going the right? Oh, I am going the right way. I just didn't have the right teleport.
Perfect. Hero, hope you're doing good, dude. It's good to see you. Thank you again, Sheep, for the raid. If any raiders are still hanging out, please take care of yourself with some post-stream care. I know it's a little late. There's a lot of moving parts today. Thank you guys again very much. Thanks, Sheep.
Oh, stop it, sir.
All right.
There's a man.
Come. There's a man.
So picking up just like whatever items I find on the ground for potential dragon hearts.
Yeah, I've been picking up stuff just to. Come on.
I mean, I'm looking for weapons or anything, you know.
Lead, baby, get out of here.
Nice.
Right.
All right, we're looking for Maria. You're coming up the ladders.
Yeah, I.
Oh, perfect. I see you.
Either right. Yeah, I'm right behind you.
Yeah.
I was chasing
Perfect.
somebody and I couldn't remember who it was.
Yes. Don't do that. Stop it. This should be good for levels too.
They're not going for bonuses, or they're not marking them. There's the host doesn't.
I'm so
count.
poisoned.
So
me too.
there's technically in the bingo thing. There's 6 teams because
this
the
is an
host.
enemy.
So
Oh, God.
yeah, the one that says defeat 3 NPCs
Let's
is
just go up
correct.
and
All
skip this
5 did
guy.
it.
Oh my god, this thing
Too
is.
beefy.
Yeah, I'm poisoned.
Wow.
Too beefy.
Absolutely
Yeah, me
killed
too.
me.
Watch out! He's going to smoosh. He's going to smoosh.
Big.
All right. Oh, shoot. Right. Exactly 12 hours apart. Euro's in Straya. Euro, why are you up so early on a Sunday? What are you doing?
Got him.
Nice job.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
I might be in loading limbo.
I'll be right there.
So yeah, so it's a little weird. So technically there's 6 people in the thing, but there's 5 that are participating, which makes it look funny. Yeah.
I
That
think
is
I'm
poison.
stuck loading.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, my loading bar's not going, so I'm gonna.
Shoot, okay.
We're gonna do a little restart.
Yeah. Do a little force quitties.
Yeah.
We can go because she'll load back into where you physically are.
Yeah.
Oh my
That sounded good.
Oh no! She
I don't
was
know how
here
that
1
happened.
second. She was here and then she's gone.
Huh?
Just backstepped off the elevator.
Key,
Whoosh.
it's actually orange and red, but the chroma key for whatever reason is making them both look red. But there's an orange team and a red team.
Oh, I see.
I just noticed that on stream, that they're both turning up red.
Oh.
But one is orange.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I will say though, this does make me want to hop back in and play more Elden Ring.
Oh, I'm poisoned. Oh gosh.
I'm coming back.
Is that a clean rot night? Really cool, really cool. Really, really cool.
Really fun and
Feeling
cool.
really
Thank
good
you.
about it. I'm here. Almost. I'm so close to being here that I'm here. And now I'm
Nice. Run by that man. Run by that bush. They're all just too strong. Everybody's so strong. Oh,
here.
my
No,
body.
don't poison me. No.
Oh, my bones.
So funny story. I can't pull the lever.
Oh.
Pull the lever.
Can you send the
Is
elevator
it?
back?
I think it's moving. I think. Is it?
Oh, is that
shoot.
why?
Okay. I got a grace up here.
Okay.
I got the whatever this grace is.
I can't.
Ooh.
Hello.
Ooh.
Hi.
Oh, nice.
Okay, ready?
Oh, I need to sit. I'm poisoned. Just a really quick little sit.
I think my game just crashed.
Mine did too.
No!
Why are we crashing at the exact same time? That's so weird.
I don't know. I feel like it might be something that like the host instance is like there's some sort of like bounce back. That's the only thing I can think of that like the two of us crash at weird times.
Dang it.
I don't know. It's okay. Coming back in. Either that or the game was like, you're not allowed to wear big dog head. You can't look that cool.
We see you. No.
No.
Nope.
Bad dog.
Oh, I found traveling maiden boots. For your on-the-go maiden. Are you a maiden on the go?
On the go? Maidenless and traveling?
All right. You guys are both standing very close to a cliff edge.
Yup. Here. No. It despawned my cool hat. Oh.
All right, where's... Oh, gosh.
Ellie, you gotta lay down.
Baby, go lay down.
Maria.
Maria, where'd you go?
Sorry. I'm here.
okay.
I was hoping that my cool hat had respawned, but no, I got this cool hat instead.
But all I got was
Got
this
cat
cool hat.
ears.
Oh.
I like
Nya?
Yeah.
Nya.
Yeah.
Oh, the festival. Oh, no, I've been...
Oh, How tragic.
Amazon delivery. Prime delivery. Oh, gosh.
Not the blood.
Oh, man. Oh, I gotta remember to send every elevator down again.
Oh, yeah.
Dang it. Dang it.
Oh, I keep forgetting that I didn't get my spirit collar bell.
Oh.
You don't need it, though. You can just spirit. You can just summon.
Oh. Yeah, you
Oh,
should
can
be
you
able
really?
to yeah,
Yeah.
we've been summoning the lizard.
Yeah.
But it doesn't.
It's
It's like
FP, it
crossed
might
out.
cost too much. FP.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
you might not have
maybe.
the FP for it. Because, yeah, we've been summoning.
You might be right.
Euro, can you confirm for me that all the volumes and assets are okay? Is there anything that doesn't make sense on why it's where it is? Oftentimes, a fresh set of eyes will reset the perspective. Oh.
I don't...
Everything sounds fine? Perfect. Thank you, man.
What?
Or did you get command
even
grabbed by the goopy
killed
man?
me? I honestly am not sure what got me there.
Oh, it's probably there's also a ghost here that might have gotten you.
Maybe.
Okay. Thank you, Euro.
So many ladders. Whoa, 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 whoa. God, I'm
Dinner?
so glad I'm
No.
following you because I would have not known what was going on.
What the heck is that thing?
Did I ever come here? I don't even know if I came here.
If you got the
I
deck
don't
of
ever take
medallions,
the
you
lift.
probably wouldn't have
Yeah.
needed to, yeah.
I don't ever take that lift. It's so... I much prefer this path. Oh, that's a big man. Oh, you're a large fella. I'm gonna back up a little bit here. This guy is potent. No, 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 please, not like this. Yeah, do your goofy little fire. Yeah. Nice.
No!
Oh my god, really?
Shoot.
After killing him,
just
that's
got
what got me? That's what got me?
He just got angry and said, bleh.
Bleh, I don't feel so good.
No,
Bleh.
don't bleh on me. No.
I threw up.
I flew up.
Nice. Is there
Drop
any
a
back
giant
here?
sword?
There's just,
No.
just a plant. All right. There's just a man on a horse up here. How did you get your horse up here?
How'd your horse get here?
Oh no! Oh, there's a gold item on that guy? Hello? Oh, a sacred relic sword?
Wait,
What?
Just on the cliff out here?
Hold on.
Oh god, the man on his horse.
Oh my god, the
oh my
horse?
God.
Oh, the horse?
Goodbye!
Get the-
It's a flying
goodbye.
horse now!
Goodbye, horse.
Nice, nice, nice.
In your butt.
There's a skeleton. The world's strongest skeleton? Oh my god. He drank so much milk, he's got the hardest bones.
Hard bones, Magoo.
Hard bones.
All right, well, I've got this shiny sword now.
Yeah, what the heck?
All right, so where's the relic sword?
Oh,
I don't know,
up
cliff
where we
thing.
are. Over.
Is this
over,
just
I'll
better
stand by
than...
it.
Further one?
This is probably just better, right?
It's way better than what I was wielding, which is wild.
Oh man, I like my...
I see it.
I like my
I see
anchor.
I may dual wield though. No, I will not. I've changed my mind immediately. All right, we're going left, left.
Yeah, we go up again.
Left
What's the
to
next
the
leaf?
left.
To the
this is
left.
it, pretty
Oh.
much.
Yeah, this is almost the end.
You got dog head.
I did have dog head. He's...
Yeah, that's the one that I got, and
It
immediately
crashed
as
the
soon as
game.
I tried to put on,
It
yeah.
crashed the game. It's too strong.
All right, I'm gonna sit down again. Is that okay?
Yep.
I'm scared to sit down. You guys stand up first.
Okay, I'm up.
I'm up.
Okay. Okay. Level up. Strength. Yes. Flasks. Add charge. Yes. Go. Good. Okay. All right,
Okay.
boss.
Oh, I'm
Please be
literally
somebody
2 FP shy of being able to summon this summon.
Oh, that's the next level, though. Hey, maybe. Or there's something large.
Who is it? Who
looks
is it?
like.
Who is it?
Sounds
Who we
big.
fighting? Allow.
Hello?
No
Oh, it's
one.
Moog.
Sewer Moog?
Mogma worm!
Oh my god, Mogma worm!
Oh my god, he's so strong! Is this phase 2? Fucking Moog? What the fuck? Give me a break, dude.
Ah, my blood. Oh, my blood is coming out of me.
Sir, I need that.
Doctor said I have internal bleeding, but doctor's an idiot. That's where my blood is supposed to be. Oh,
No,
shouldn't
I
have
was
iced.
healing. Those were my heals that you took away from me.
Oh gosh. Oh no.
Bloody rain. God.
This
Well,
is
I've used
a
all
problem.
of my
Might be tough.
flasks. Ugh. No, stop
nice.
it! I don't want to. Nah, my blood has been gone.
Shoot, okay. I'll just die. This is not it. Okay,
let's
I
try
don't
this one
think this is the
again.
path. What other bonus objectives are we maybe able to get? Shoot.
Hitless, sorceries only, dupe a remembrance, or defeat with a remembrance weapon, which technically we
Okay.
have.
Do we want
so
to try?
Moog is a remembrance boss, and we have a remembrance weapon. Horaloo is a remembrance boss.
Okay.
Sacred Relic Sword's a remembrance weapon because it's the Elden remembrance weapon.
Okay.
So
well,
we
that's
have a
convenient.
remembrance
equip it.
weapon.
Okay.
So
Okay,
now we just whoever we kill has to be remembrance. Horaloo is, Moog is.
Okay, let's go to Horaloo then.
Okay,
Is
let's
that
try
my
Horaloo
secluded
again.
cell?
Yep.
Ay, 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 ay.
Indeed.
What do we have left? Like
We're
half
a little
hour or so?
stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, half hour or so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dang. Oh, that dragon respawns. What the hell?
Yeah, because it's not aimed.
Oh.
Okay, so we all have to use the
Oh, I
sword.
don't like this guy doesn't get staggered.
Oh, you're back. Oh, okay.
Hi, Zibs. Hi, Zibs. All right. Are you ready to fight the boss?
Yeah, oh, yeah, we're ready.
Oh God! Maybe we sit at the.
Maybe a quick
we sit-
reset.
Maybe we do a quick. We do a quick sit down.
Okay.
Maybe we sit real fast.
Just a little rest.
Think
Zib.
rest. Shattered spine.
Just a little rest.
On my bones.
I'm battered now.
All right, Horaloo. Please be kind to my bones.
Wait, why does he have no
he's
health?
already 3/4 dead. What?
Okay.
I'm not gonna complain. I'm not
No,
complaining.
He is not for me.
Oh no!
Oh,
his
he
health is
was for like 2 seconds, and
back.
now
Yeah,
he's
his health
back.
is not there.
Okay. This seems bad.
Yeah, I knew I was
I've
stuck over
died.
there. I couldn't see.
What up, Hunter? Oh, hit me with the air stall. That was insane.
This
Okay,
is
this
tough.
boss is also hard.
Yeah. So our options are Moog.
We
I mean,
could
we can
try
go back
maybe
to
one
the-
of the. Why don't we try like an early first steps cave boss?
Well, I mean,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. We go down to the where the demi-humans are and see what's down there.
we also we
I'm
have
nervous to do
Renala
that
as
one because that one
well.
has like a whole bunch of enemies. Right.
We still have Renala. We still have the Godskin.
Did we not
The
beat
Godskin.
Renala? Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Well, it's the Godskin. Is that a remembrance?
No.
He's not a remembrance, but it's runes.
Do you want to go to
Progress.
Let's go to first step
And
and
progress.
split up. I think we go to first step. Somebody
Right,
goes
I'll
to the
go-
cave.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I
go to
can go to
Cave
the
of
cave.
Knowledge right now.
Okay, no, you can do that.
I'll go to the mine, I guess. Oh shoot, I'm gonna go to this one first real quick. Upgrade my weapon real fast.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
Thank you, Kindle. Thank you, Kindle. I appreciate you very much.
Managed democracy. Best of luck out there. It's a rough one.
Yeah. Oh, I don't have souls to do that. I don't have enough money for chicken nuggets.
I got stuck on the load screen again.
Oh no.
It's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay.
Okay.
Do-do-do-do-do-do. It feels way more stressful because it's like a race. That's why.
Yeah.
My only hope is that other people are having the same bad luck as us.
It would
It's
only
got-
make
it-
sense, right?
It's gotta be.
It was ambitious to give us 2 hours and bosses like this. Not the dino nuggies. I know, dude, I know.
No, don't fight me. No, don't fight me. No, don't fight me. My guy, why are you fighting me immediately? Please stop. No.
How is the remembrance one phrased?
Defeat a remembrance boss with a remembrance weapon.
Okay, is there like all members or whatever?
No, but if you go into the rules, it says whoever is engaged in the fight.
Okay.
So, like,
Okay.
you can fight by yourself.
Yeah, okay.
I've got a pumpkin head in here.
Okay. Is that that's the first steps or like the tutorial one?
This is the Soldier of Godric.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm in the Lingrave tunnels. Is this where somebody? Oh, you're in the. This is where you're at. Right, Call.
I am in. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay. I'm getting out of here so that I
Yeah,
can
that
go
was
do
just
something
something
else. Okay, so you're here. Get the horse run away, full of arrows.
You kill Pumpkinhead hitless?
Oh, well, I did not, but...
Oh.
Oh, is somebody else in a boss?
I'm about to be in a boss.
Oh, I can't respawn.
Oh shoot, okay. I don't know what it is. I can't tell what it is.
I think somebody
It's
just has
a
to touch
flower.
a grace or a grace.
Uh-oh. Okay.
A flower?
That's a flower and an omen? Okay. Seems a little rude. Oh, he's very strong. God damn it. Oh, he's got fire breath? Since when? Oh shoot. Should I be dying right now? Is that what we need?
I need somebody to sit at a grace.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I can sit at a grace. I just spawned one.
Okay.
Oh.
I know, I was just looking at that. I was like, who is that and what is he doing? All right. I don't know if I can do this, but I will try to do this hitless. Do it one more try.
Oh, we're in two separate bosses right now. This is no buenas.
Yeah.
I can't leave either. Oh no. Oh, I can like hear somebody else. What the heck? My bosses don't want to play Euro. The controller disconnected.
Oh no.
Can I use the item to send me back to base? This one? Lose all runes. I don't have any runes. It's fine. I can't even use it. No!
Peach, where are you?
Hi, Emmy.
I'm just gonna die. I'm just gonna die.
Oh.
Hi, Emmy. Emmy, it's good to see you. You probably came over with the sheep raid not too long ago.
Yeah, so somebody just has to touch a grace and then we'll reconvene.
Okay, I'm kind of bugged right now. I'm in a boss arena and they are not doing anything.
Are you able to hit them and kill them?
Oh god.
And win?
Oh, it just disappeared.
Oh, it's because I just sat at a grace.
Yeah, yeah.
That either bugged them worse or.
All right, so where are you, Cal?
I am in the mine by the lake. But I should probably get out of here, but I think it's bugged right now. I should probably do a quick little reset. And we can hitless we can hitless Pumpkinhead, right? We can't like can go in there together and probably like
yeah. Oh yeah.
L2 him. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna quit. I'm bugged out right now.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Are you asking me where I am, Maria?
Yeah.
I am in Cave of Knowledge.
Okay. Yeah, if you need to if you need to exit out, then exit out, yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. Alright, we're gonna reopen. Yes, please.
Oh, hey, the guy's back. The space dog is back.
Oh, good. Maybe we can kill that guy. Also, after. Okay. All right, so we are going. Are we rushing Pumpkinhead? Is that the plan?
Yeah, I'm. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, just let me. No, it's not.
Why am I not able
rejoining.
to teleport?
Oh, says no. Nothing found.
Team Pig.
Did you open the world again?
I did now. Yes, I had it the whole time.
Oh, okay. It was my connection, of course.
Yeah, it was always open.
My error messages were definitely just on my side. They just need to open their eyes, put on their glasses,
Mm-hmm.
In the tunnels.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Did
get the
I
hell out of
spawn?
these tunnels. I hate this.
Where are you?
I'm trying to leave the tunnels because I'm not able to teleport within the tunnels.
No, we have to
Oh
go
my God,
all the
you're
way
so
back.
right.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get out of the tunnels.
Who was the boss in here?
It was a omen head killer, like the demon horn omen, and a Miranda flower.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I am at an elevator to leave this place pretty much. You guys are both in the cave by the boss.
Yeah, we're coming to the next elevator.
Okay, sounds good. Perfect. Let me know before you jump off. I can probably just give you the elevator.
We're up
I
here.
see pink. Okay, are you
We're
ready?
up, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm coming up. Here I go.
I missed!
No! Shoot. Okay, I'll send the elevator back down. You and I keep going here, pink. Excuse me.
Oh, I spawned not there. I spawned back where I last sat, which is at the church by first steps.
Oh,
well, that's
okay,
good though,
perfect.
because then you
It's
don't
a
have to
shortcut,
do what we're doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we teleport yet? We cannot.
Let
No,
me
if we
see if
actually
he
have
spawned back in. If our star spawned back in. Nope. He's not here.
Polystar's not
Decided to
there?
take no.
Okay.
It showed back up as
Okay.
soon as you
Cave of
disconnected,
Knowledge.
Cal,
Oh, okay.
and then it's gone. So that's fun.
Very weird. Okay.
Very strange
we
indeed.
are
Huh.
We're at the Cave of Knowledge.
I see the two of you above my head
Oh.
slashing at things.
Do we look good?
Well, you're like 10 feet in the air.
Oh.
Oh, and you've just been whisked away into space. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Oh no. No, Maria.
Blasting off again.
Okay.
Are you heading this way, or do you want me to meet? Where am I?
We are heading to Pumpkinhead. Where are you?
We're gonna try to hit this pumpkin
I'm
head.
exactly where I was. I'm still at the church.
Okay. Forgot that this guy was zombie Jesus and just flying around. We teleported to the Cave of Knowledge Grace.
Okay.
And we were trying to hitless Pumpkinhead.
Oh, okay.
Okay, good. There's a frickin' wolf guy. I feel like we can just spam that move for Pumpkinhead.
What, jumping L2s?
Yeah. Like
Did I
the
go the wrong direction? I may have gone the wrong direction.
the spell on this one, the art, whatever it is.
Oh,
Wave
yeah,
of
I don't have a
gold.
lot of, though, FP.
Okay.
But, yeah, we're good. Maria.
I think I ran the wrong direction.
Oh. Watch out for zombie Jesus. He's back there somewhere. He literally was flying around like a jet plane.
I lied.
Spewing
I
like
didn't.
cold flame.
Oh.
Whereabouts are you?
Well, I thought I was going the wrong way, so I turned around, and then I came back because I wasn't going the wrong way.
I want to come back.
Maybe in... Oh, you're above me. Hello.
Hello. Oh, he's doing it again. Oh god.
No, thank you, Jesus. I'm.
He's just flying around. All willy-nilly. You think you can do these things, but you just can't, Nemo. Oh, is this better not be Scarlet. Oh god. All right, so we are explicitly trying to hit list this guy, right?
Yes. So
We got
just-
range or spells or
Yeah,
summons
draw
or whatever.
aggro and
Yeah.
all that.
Oh, looks like Tay's game crashed again. She just booted up Elden Ring.
Okay.
All right. Try to steer clear. Use your L2s.
Yeah.
Summon your dudes. Oh god. Oh, he coming. No, no, no! Don't look at me. Nice.
I'll be the
Alright.
bait.
Stay back. Stay back. Run in the lava. Oh yeah, there we go. Well, it's not very much. No, 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 don't touch.
Don't get hit.
Yeah, chase me.
Nice. Here it goes.
I gotta get in there and try to get a bleed on him though.
No. Uh-oh. No, no, no. Oh, no.
I forgot that y'all had summons because the summons didn't show up for me
Oh.
for some reason.
What up, Ben? I'm proud of you going magic this run. Hey, this is different, Ben. This is our race, all right? We're not magic only during this.
Yeah. Damn, your summons are really doing the work.
Yeah, I'm just trying to stay out of his aggro, really.
I don't like this thing. This sword is just not it for me. Come on, bud.
No.
Nice. Slam, careful. There we go.
Oh, that was too close. That was too close. Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
Our summon's gone, so. Nice, nice.
Nice.
And nice.
Yeah, there we go.
There's our hit list. Let's go.
Nice.
Woo.
Perfect.
Good job. All right.
All right, all right.
Let's get up here.
Okay, what about where's the other half of that fragment? Is that in the poison castle? Like you gotta take the teleporter? Like I know one of them is like nearby by the
What fragment?
I'm trying to get the fragment for yeah, the Dectus.
Oh, the Dectus medallion. One is in Fort Height and one is in Fort Feroth in in base game in Caelid.
Okay. Do we want to try Noble? I guess Noble
Yeah, we
I
can try
feel like
Noble
is
again.
the most
Yeah.
achievable, even though he is a
The worst.
second
He's tough, I
two-phase
know,
fight.
but-
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yep.
This one is classroom, I think. Debate parlor, yeah.
Yeah, debate parlor.
Should be debate parlor. Yeah.
Yeah, Ven, we're doing our race right now. This is our seamless co-op randomized race. I have successfully shelved the magic only run to be resumed at a later time.
So, is this one that we need to use the remembrance weapon for? Or
No, the
just
Godskin is not a
murder?
remembrance boss. No.
Oh, maybe we should go. Horaloo is just such a bastard, though.
Yeah. and we're
that-
doing
I feel like-
so little damage on him. Oh.
Jeez.
No.
That did not look like that could have hit me.
Right.
Oh, the
watching that and I
ball
was like,
pisses me off sometimes with the.
I do
The
feel like the
hitbox is
hitbox
deck
on that
this
ball
medallion.
is like.
It's crazy sometimes. Like
Yeah.
that should not have hit me, but I guess it did.
Hey, driver. Oh, hell yeah.
Check this medallion.
Check this medallion.
Blah, 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 blah. Your mom lets you have 2 medallion fragments?
Thank you for the follow.
Yoink. Oh my goodness. Thank you for the follow. Welcome. Welcome. That's Pinks.
All right.
I made it this time. I didn't get smushed by the ball.
Yeah, wow, 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 wow.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
I found dragon wings.
I see. I was just about to say, I like your fit there.
I feel like an anime character.
Me
Spot the
too,
main
though.
All right.
I'm like super side character. All right, Godskin Noble Queen.
Using the seamless. Yes, we are, Bisco. Yeah, it's really good. It has crashed a couple times on us, but it's it has been good for us.
Hello, Biscuit.
Heck yeah, Bisco rules.
Oh, okay, sure.
No, no.
Nice. A little crashes here and there. Yeah. Oh, nice blood. Yeah.
Dead. My blood.
Bernal needs a claw.
I was healing, you son of a bitch.
Dead.
I'm just gonna die, I think. I need to...
Damn.
Kill
So we
me.
really have some shit options right now. We've got Godskin, we've got Horaloo, or we've got Moog.
Is there any other
really bad.
bonuses that we can get?
Altus Plateau via Ruinstrewn Precipice, which is Moog. We can't get our Falling Star Beast. I mean, we should ask. Like, what do we do? Our Falling Star Beast is dead.
It just doesn't want to come back. Yeah.
We could just like keep trying to reset it, maybe.
I honestly, I think it died.
Oh, okay.
It lost all of its health.
Well, it did, but then as soon as oh, I crashed.
Oh.
As soon as Cal had to restart because they got glitched, it just appeared. Yeah.
Then we're trying to do this as a team. I don't want to just try to just live. We want to get everybody involved. I don't want to keep people waiting. We're against the clock too. It's my teammates.
Live together, die together. Mostly we're dying
Most
together.
of the time, yeah.
And sometimes we die apart. Huh. Gotta get in there. Gotta get in
We're
there.
coming up here pretty soon, hey?
Oh
About 10 more
man,
minutes or so,
I have
yeah.
no idea. Like,
I think after this
how
one, I think we
we
just
are.
try to go back to Falling Star. I think. Sorry, I didn't mean.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. Yeah. So like the Falling Star Beast, because I'm at the steps on my before I jump in with y'all, and it's here
Mm-hmm.
when I spawn in. Oh my
Whoa.
God, we're right here.
What the? Where? Whoa! Oh my God, where'd you come from?
Yeah,
That's terrifying.
because when you join right where the host is.
Oh, okay. That was terrifying. How close are you to the goal? We're about an hour and 45, an hour and 50 in of our 2-hour window. We've accomplished some things.
Oh my God, I had not been keeping track of the donations at all. Speaking of donation goal, they surpassed it. We're at 205 of 200.
Let's go! What, already? Are you? Oh, I hate it here. Oh, I'm crying in the club. Oh, please stop.
No, you big belly.
Are you serious?
Stop. Your donut is not cool.
He's on something extra today. Holy smokes.
Seriously.
Nice.
He said, I'm spawning in, but at my worst. This is my worst day. No, out. I don't want part of your campfire.
What? Okay.
Okay, well, it's like he was just waiting for me. No.
Nice.
Holy shit, I'm the dead weight.
I don't want that. Nope.
Spinning around.
I'm chasing them.
Yeah, I'm watching. That's nauseating.
Yeah. I'm about to vom. No.
Ah! We got him down farther than we've ever gotten him, technically.
Ow. Ow. Ow, 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 ow. Okay.
All right, so we probably have time to attempt one more. So do we want to try to go for Falling Star? Which we don't have any. I don't have gravity. I don't have anything.
Why don't we try to see it at least?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
We can
otherwise
spawn
this
into
is like a
the-
2-phase fight. That's being. It's a
Why
jerk.
don't we spawn back in the church, because that for some reason made it respawn as opposed to like on the steps,
Okay. Respond at the
and see if that does anything.
Church of Elite.
Because if it just isn't there, then I don't know.
It is here. Oh god.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh god.
Let's go.
Okay, I'm just gonna wait for you guys.
He's back.
Can I sell stuff to this guy? I can, right?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes, you
nice.
can.
I should just give this guy fucking everything. Here, take it all. Take literally so much stuff. Take this. Take a bunch of things. Take this. Take this. I want to upgrade my weapon. Here, take this.
Oh, here it comes.
Okay, I'm coming.
Yeah.
Oof.
Broke the church.
Oof. Oofa doofa.
Yeah. I don't know if we can do this.
God, he's so movable. He moves a lot. No.
Oh, he hit me with the stall. What the heck was that? Don't do that. Don't do that.
Oh, he learned from the sheep.
Oh,
not
he's
me,
looking at me but
no.
shooting at you? Okay.
Yeah, he was doing gravity at me.
Oh jeez, this guy's bulky.
Ah, the rocks in my face. Now I'm a bush. Wow, yeah, you're barely doing damage to this thing.
I know.
I should probably die here.
Yeah.
I wonder, just we can give it one more try.
Okay.
Do it! Do it!
You're
Come
just
on!
too hearty.
Stop trying to kill me, I'm killing.
Oh, he's back to moonwalking in place.
Mm.
Okay.
How many main objectives have we done? I know we've done one for sure.
2. We got the Leonine Arena and we got the Margit Arena.
What else is worth selling? Do I have anything else worth selling? Nice. Okay. All right. Freaky roly poly. Freaky roly poly. Can I summon him? Oh, I can. Where you going, jerk? Come here. Come here. Oh God. Oh, I'm scared. What's happening?
He got stuck on the pole.
I know, but you should break the pole. He's bigger than the pole.
No.
What's
the
happening?
pole is the strongest pole you've ever seen.
Oh, this ain't your normal ass pole.
Oh, rude. I was up here on this rock.
Oh.
No, not me.
Oh. Oh, nice.
Oh,
Well done.
nice. I got him. Nope, I didn't get here in time.
It's okay. We got a whole bunch of damage in there. Or try to get by him. Oh, I'm stuck. Oh God.
Now I'm done. Yeah, he's a good one to get stuck on the terrain, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a wild little fighting area. Oh, don't do
I
a
know,
weird
he is
run. What are
like-
you doing? Oh my God.
Ugh.
Oh, he's coming at me sideways. That was insane.
Shit.
Oh gosh.
Shit.
Hello, Carney.
Bro, please stay still. Like, I'm begging. Oh.
Y'all got this.
I missed.
Bro.
Oh, goodness
Oh my
gracious.
God.
Oh, he came for me. Oh gosh. No. I'm dead.
Ah. Damn,
Nice try.
that was way better than it should have been.
Nice try.
Nice try.
All right, we're gonna go one more time till we're told to stop.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't.
yeah.
Is there like a hey?
I don't know.
Okay, we'll just keep going. Go until the whistle. So he's fighting something? Hello?
Yeah, what is he fucking fighting over here? Someone summoned. Oh. Bring us over here. Let's see what's going on.
Command grab. Oh. Who's doing weird charge?
Bro, stop. Bro, stop.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Oof.
Rawr.
Oh, there's a soldier over here. What the fuck? Get out of here. We're busy.
Ow! Well, I'm not immediately dead, and that brings me joy. Nice. Got him.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, he's going X Games mode.
I just hope he doesn't go too far and despawn, because that would be...
Yeah.
That would suck so hard. That happened with the Tree Sentinel when I did this back in the day. Oh, come here, bud. Come over here. Come here. This way. Not with your rocks, with your whole body. Come here. There we go. Ow! I did say he should come this way with his whole body, so that's on me.
Okay.
Not me! Why me?
No.
Okay. Oh, come on. Don't you do it. I need to heal. Okay.
We're close to a stagger. I feel it in my bones.
There it is.
Get him.
Damage.
We got this. Come on, no, we got this.
I have no
I've
more
died.
heals. I have no more heals.
You got it. Think avoid is bonus? Yes, I believe so.
Yes. Bro, you gotta stop for like a second so I can get a hit. Oh, I'm dead. It's you, Cal.
I'm out of flasks. No.
I know.
I can't see.
Oh my god, that was so close. Oh, and it crashed.
I crashed, yeah, but we're done. We have to go back into
And we're
DC
done.
anyway.
And we're
Yeah.
done.
No.
Oh my god.
I'm so sorry.
It's all, no, we were so close. All right.
Dang.
All right, back in lobby. See you guys in a second.
GG's. Oh, shoot. All right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We found a remembrance.
Oh, there you go. Did you eat it?
Huh?
I think we did too.
No.
Oh no, we found a remembrance weapon. Just kidding. We didn't find it. Never.
Oh.
Mind. I
Yeah,
I
we
got
found a
in
weapon,
here
not
as
a
we're talking
actual
about it.
remembrance.
Yeah.
Oh no, we got a great room.
Oh, I see.
Woof.
It was
This makes me want to play more randomizers, and I want to
Yeah.
explore this more.
I know. I want to go back to my DS1 one.
I'm gonna go back to Elden Ring with this.
They're just
Right?
such fun ways to reapproach the game once you've played them a bunch of times. Like I think I've got like 700 or something hours in Elden Ring now, and like I've done most things that there are to do in the game. Like there's still new stuff, sure, but like I've at this point, I scour the wiki to make sure I don't miss shit. But like randomizers is such a nice way to just have a nice breath of fresh air, because it's like, Lanzo's not supposed to be here. What the hell are you doing here?
Right? Oh, Ronaldo, what are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here. Oh, fuck.
Lobsters, anybody? Many lobsters?
Yeah.
So I was
lobsters
doing I was doing a randomizer with a friend, and it was basically anything that could be replaced with anything, which basically has resulted in most of the bosses that we fought being crabs, like the small ones. But we were running through Raya Lucaria, and somehow by sheer chance, somewhere in Raya Lucaria was Phase 1 Renala, but not in her boss room. She was just in a corner of somewhere in the academy, floating in the air, and you can't fight her because there's no way to get her knocked down. So she was just there in a bubble, just existing.
Oh god.
Oh my god.
Get down from there, Renala.
They're like, I'm just chilling.
I'm just hanging out, man. Leave me alone. This
also,
was fun,
big W to everyone. We beat the goal.
Yeah.
We passed
Yeah,
it.
we did.
Yes!
That $100 donation was insane.
I'll take it.
We kept getting like
amazing.
Drop your weapons and fisticuffs and stuff, and it was really messing with us.
We had the
Us too.
one-handed, and I was like, I never want to do this again.
Yeah.
I'm just like, chat. You can see my left hand, my right hand, my controller's on the desk. I'm playing with my right
Oh,
hand.
so awful.
I'm looking at the Team 3's stream right now. They're at the Renala fight.
Oh, okay. Are they like in the middle of the fight?
They're in the middle of the fight. One of them died. There's one left now. Yeah, there's one left now. So
I
we'll
should
see.
open that too. The race is over anyway. I'm not stream sniping. It's over.
This is
Oh my
exciting to watch.
God. Okay, that's actually like super. That's super cinematic. Having Radagon be queen of the
Can I
full
guess
moon.
that Bun is the one that's still
Wait,
alive?
Radagon?
Yeah, they got Radagon as Renala face.
Poor Brian.
Oh,
What?
we had the Godskin Noble.
Yeah, that was phase 1.
In Renala, yeah.
And then,
and then Godskin Noble into Radagon?
Jeez, we would not.
And
we
Ruinstern
barely got
Precipice
through.
is Moog.
God.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. That is.
And it
awful.
was,
Did you
it was
guys?
really bad.
It was bad.
Oh,
I'm
that's
really surprised to see
fuck.
Horalu be phase 1 Godric, honestly.
I was kind of mad at that one.
Not. We didn't do that one. We tried so
we did a
hard.
couple attempts, yeah.
Yeah.
My glistening bald man got suplexed into the corner, and I just.
They
kind of sat
almost
down.
beat Radagon.
Yeah, they did. Now they lost.
Oh wow.
It's all over now.
GGs.
It's all over
true,
now.
We were literally
So
a hit
true.
and a half from defeating the
Falling Star.
Yeah. I just, God, we were so close.
Are they exiting? Or I might have to
Are they-
hop into their
They might be coming.
PC.
No, they're.
Yeah, I'm hopping into
They
their
just immediately, they just immediately go. We're running it back, Wiz.
They're major gamers.
We're running this shit back. Yeah, tell them to stop. They were gonna fight fucking Radagon again.
I don't know Brian very well, but I know Sam really well, and
This has been realized as a lot of Firekeepers. I don't know.
GG's Team 3. We
Hello.
were watching. We were watching.
We were watching the cinema.
GG's.
Cinema.
We tried. Radagon is goal in order. That's crazy.
Yeah. Horalu and Radagon is
Yeah.
insane to fight.
Absolutely wild.
That's a combination.
We're like, oh, let's go fight Godric, and then Horalu's. I'm like, oh fuck.
Yeah, combo of all
Yeah.
time.
He was like the last thing we fought, because I may or may not have taken us around Dragon Barrier. Like, hey, let's go kill Grail for the rooms. No, that was such a bad idea.
Yeah, actually.
This was a
We
really
didn't really
great
get a
scene.
Dragon Heart. We forgot
This was
that you
definitely
don't
fun.
get
I
one.
would love to do this again.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah,
That was awesome.
Yes.
Absolutely, and thank you
Yeah.
so much to every single person who played in this. We absolutely crushed the goal. We are currently at 225 out of 200. So yes, we met our goal. We had a great time.
Yeah, let's go.
Thank you for
Keep
the
power!
donation.
And thank you so much to everyone who watched and donated and supported the streams and everyone who came together
thank
to
you.
make this happen. Do y'all want me to calculate points right now?
Yes.
Yes.
Sure. I'm
Let's
game.
do it. Let's find out who
math
won.
for us.
But yeah,
Sure.
huge shout out to everyone who came in and played. Y'all can why don't you while I calculate points, go
Just
team 1, team 2, team 3, team 4, team 5 in order. Let us know what you're working on your stream. Let us know who you are, what you do. Give yourself a little shout out and a little pat on the back while I do math. Why don't we do that?
That's awesome.
Heck yeah. Yeah. Team
And I'll
1,
type it
go.
in place.
From team, who wants to go? Team 1. Anybody?
Come on,
Get it over with.
Come on, Damon, you spoke first.
Oh, God. Okay, fine. Hi, everybody. My name is Demon Fighters, or just Fighters, whichever is easiest for you. I'm a variety streaming VTuber. I play a number of games ranging from RPGs or games like Helldivers, Peak, sometimes Elden Ring, and I'm not fighting Horalu again in Godric's place. I usually stream every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, ranging from Thursday to Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and Sundays at noon Eastern Standard Time. If you guys want to come hang out and play games with me, that's cool. If not, come laugh at me play other games horribly.
Sounds wonderful.
Nice.
Before anyone continues, first of all, yes, that is wonderful. Second of all, I love your model. Third of all,
thank you.
Before anyone continues, please let me know how many of the main objectives you have completed.
Where do we want to
Because
put it?
I would need
We
that.
can write it in general. How many?
Yes,
main
please write it in
objectives?
general. Write your team name and your team number, and then the objectives. That's all.
Do you need a specific ones or just number of?
Number of.
We did 1, 2, 3. We did 4, right? No, 3.
3.
Are we just putting it like in the chat or what?
Yeah, just in general, one person per team.
Okay, so I forget.
I got it.
I forgot.
3.
17.
We did. Of the main objectives, we did 3 of them.
Right.
Wonderful. We have a big
can find
tie in
that.
terms of placement. Okay, carry on. Shout yourselves out.
You want to go, Tay? Or you want me to go?
Yeah, I can go. So I'm Terry3. I right now am working on my first playthrough of all the Resident Evil games. I'm in Resident Evil 1 right now. Which I'm excited for. I've been looking forward to playing them for a little bit.
Please don't forget Code Veronica.
Nah, I probably won't be. I'm only gonna do the numbered ones.
No.
And yeah, it's kind of as my farewell to streaming, at least for like an indeterminate amount. That's why I'm a mod in the Firekeeper Discord now. If you guys noticed.
Yes, are you mod?
The rainbow name. Yeah, so I decided to stay as a mod so that I don't have to leave the Firekeepers forever.
Yay!
Yeah. So, but Resident Evil will be my last series, and then yeah. But yeah, so out with a bang.
Hope your
That's a
hope your
good
break
one.
goes well.
Curious to end one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Right, for me, I'm the 1v2. I'm a challenge runner for Souls likes, and also known for horror. Currently working on Elden Ring's first world hitless run at the minute with the longbow only. Very painful challenge. It's been something I've been working on for 4 months, and I could see myself working on it for 4 years, in all honesty.
That's insane.
Do not envy on that one. Fine,
The toothpick run.
can...
Yeah, the toothpick
Team
run.
two.
That's what it's
Toothpick run.
named.
Team 2.
Team 2.
Team 2.
Team 2, Rachie.
I'm gonna start naming. Yeah.
I forgot which number we were. I honestly just forgot which number we were.
Yeah, listen. Hi, I'm Richie Pie. I finally beat Baldur's Gate 3 last week.
Yay!
Oh yeah.
Was it a first playthrough, or was it like the second or third?
Yes, we're going to be doing a Dirge playthrough in the very near future.
Yes,
Ooh, I love
Nice.
Dirge. I've never
with,
finished it.
some
but-
friends. But oh my god. Other than that, I am currently playing through Date Everything, and
Yes!
I'm going through the Final Fantasy games backwards. I'm currently working on 15, And if I don't feel like playing any of the other games that I'm playing, you can catch me playing Final Fantasy 14.
Beautiful.
You mean the critically acclaimed MMORPG? Final Fantasy 14.
Trial?
That's what you mean, right?
Yeah. Critically acclaimed MMORPG. You can currently play up to Stormblood.
No way.
Yeah.
Free?
With no restrictions on
Free?
playtime?
No way.
No way.
Sign me up.
Yes, play with me.
One day. One day.
One day.
Well, speaking of sign me up, hi, I'm Keone Liu. I play a lot of Souls games, and right now I am on a 64-run journey to beat all 8 Night Lords in Night Rain with all 8 Nightfarers. I have currently...
Wow.
Thank you, yeah. Currently, we've beaten all 8 Night Lords with both Wilder and Guardian back-to-back defeatless. Undefeated.
Let's go. That is so cool.
Fuck yeah.
So we're now on to Iron Eye. I'm super
Let's
excited
go.
to see
You
if
got
I figure it.
this.
Keone, you need to teach me how to actually play Night Rain, because when I played that...
Yeah.
Thanks, Cal.
Heck yeah.
Then I guess it's me. I'm Vedalino. I'm Norwegian. What else is there to say? Mostly content-wise, everything I stream is basically 100% playthroughs. There's absolutely nothing else. I'm doing Kingdom Hearts right now. Done those before, but I'm doing it on stream. I'm doing all Zelda games. I did Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom back to back in 23. It was painful. And then I am also doing currently Silksong. I made a bet with some friends that I would 100% it by the end of this weekend. I will for sure not do that shit. I don't know why I did that. I am losing. I'm losing $150 at the end of this weekend, but it's fine. It's fine. I've played 20 hours so far. Silksong, really recommended. If you played Whole Night,
Oh, it's so good.
if you played
So
Whole Night
good.
and you think it's hard, if you think Hollow Knight is hard, don't get Silksong. It's more difficult.
Silksong is so hard.
I'm warning right now. It is way more difficult than Hollow Knight. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's so rewarding though. It's so good.
That is really good.
I've been enjoying
that was in
watching
my
others.
chat, helping us out a little bit. Was helping us out in between playing Silksong. So.
Team 3, I'll start. I'm Centuries Untold. I stream Tuesdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and as of tomorrow, Sundays, so I can play Silksong.
Yay!
Yay!
I like to go between a bunch of different genres. I'm playing. What am I playing right now? Dragon Age Origins, which is RPG. Splody, which is a platformer. Elden Ring with Bun and Raichi on Saturdays at TV. Our newest mod, one of our new mods.
Yeah.
And now Silksong. But yeah, that's me.
Ready?
Bun, go.
Go next? Okay. Hi, hello. I am Sir Buddington, but you can just call me Bun for short. I stream Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sundays. Friday and Sunday, I'm doing the most hated game of 2023, I think, for Spoken. I don't know why. I don't get why people hate it. I also do a lot of Souls game, and I used to do a lot of horror games, but I suck. But I want to get back into it. And
October's coming.
Oh yeah, that's true. Oh yeah,
it's
and I'm
getting there.
starting a Subnautica playthrough on YouTube for those who want to check it out.
Nice.
Yeah, that is.
Hell
No,
yeah.
we do have to play The Devil in Me.
We do. Play to beat it.
I mean,
Ryan, it's your turn.
I guess that's me. I'm Brian, Ronnie's consort Brian on Twitch. I'm a Canadian soul streamer who does a lot of challenge runs. Right now, I'm doing a lot of Elden Ring speedrunning in the any percent glitchless category. I'm currently aiming for top Canadian on the board. We are very close. We're within like 18 seconds right now with my PB, so I'm like right there.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I think once I do that, I'm gonna take a break from Elden Ring speedrunning and move on to something else. I've been working at it for quite a while. But yeah, I stream most evenings that I can. There's a little bit of variation in my schedule because I'm also a university student. So yeah, that's pretty much me, and that's like my whole personality right now. So yeah.
Team 4.
I'll go
Go
first.
Pink.
All right. Hello, hi, everybody. My name is Krista, or Pinksel. Most people just call me Pink. I am a variety streamer here from the US. I play everything ranging from Lego games, Nintendo games, simulators, shooters, survival games, Souls-likes, and everything in between. Currently, I am playing Abiotic Factor, which is a fun little, creepy little survival craft with a friend of mine. But next week, we'll be starting my Borderlands 4 adventure, so that's probably what I will be playing for the next unforeseen future.
Nice. Are you liking the Abiotic Factor?
Abiotic Factor is very fun. I like it a lot.
I have heard nothing but good things about it.
Yes.
Who are
it's
you
very
looking to
fun.
play in Borderlands?
I am a one-trick pony, and I have played Sirens in all 3.
You know, I can respect that.
Yes.
The sirens are so fun though. Like I
They
don't want
are
to
so
play
fun.
them.
Yeah.
I played, listen, if you can shoot somebody with a gun and heal them, that is winning.
Exactly.
Exactly. You will like me shooting you. Trust me.
Go Maria.
Okay, hello. I'm Maria Bruista. I am currently playing Silk Song. But I also like to focus on showcasing a lot of indie games, indie developers. So we are also playing Date Everything, as well as like a smattering of other indie games. But yeah, I play a little bit of everything. I love puzzle games. We played through the entire Nancy Drew PC collection from the 90s to the now, which was a wild journey. So if you want just absolutely just chill but chaotic energy, and also who knows we'll be playing, you come hang out with us.
So you like point and click mystery games?
I love point and click mystery. I love them. They frustrate the hell out of me, but I love them.
Mm-hmm.
I have not played Sam and Max.
Highly recommend. One of my favorite games.
All right, writing it down, putting it down, adding it to the
Have
list.
you
The
not
never-ending
played that?
list.
That needs to be at the top of your list, honestly.
Sam and Max. Perfect. It's on the list.
Oh, I love Sam and Max.
That's a
Sam and Max
great
is
game.
so
That was the
good.
first game I played on stream.
Oh, that's so cute.
The glowing recommendations. I'm already excited.
Cal, it's you.
Hi everybody, my name is Cal, like California, Calgary, or Calzone. I like to play Souls games, Metroidvania games like Hollow Knight, Silksong, Blasphemous, stuff like that. And I like to play action-adventure RPG games, God of War, Black Myth Wukong, Horizon Zero Dawn. These days we're playing Silksong, Wuchang, and Ghost of Tsushima in anticipation for Ghost of Yotei pretty soon. Also going to be playing some Pokemon Legends ZA, Borderlands
yeah.
4, Dying Light the Beast, more Night Rain expansion stuff. Oh my gosh, it never ends. There's too many things to do. But I like getting platinum trophies as well.
Hide the credit cards, Stay. Hide the credit cards.
It's my shield. It's my credit card.
He makes way more money than I do. Like
A bit of a completionist as well. I have a bit of a trophy case, but a bit of game DHD. I can never decide on one game, so I just play them all.
Valid.
Feel that. Feel that.
Nice.
Heck yeah, that's me.
Team 5.
Who wants to go first?
You.
Go.
Yeah.
Go. Hi. I'm Resbun. You can call me Res for short. I'm a variety VTuber / streamer. I tend to focus on Souls games. They're my bread and butter. They're the ones I tend to enjoy and can play the most. But I enjoy RPGs and strategy games and survival games. Yeah, I try to stream Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, but that's a bit up in the air at the moment because we've got a puppy. I will send you pictures if you ask.
Oh my god.
I wonder how many puppy pictures he's going to send now.
Too many. Yeah, there's not much else to it, really.
All right.
DM me,
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
show you my puppy.
Puppy! Hi. Hello, my name is Zoe, also known as Little One You Are. My pronouns are she, her. I face my fears in video games and beyond while sharing my mental health journey, because mental health is important. And when I say I face my fears, I play games I never thought I'd play, like Bloodborne, which was my first platinum trophy, and horror games and things like that. And so I stream on Saturdays, Sundays, and Mondays. Right now, I'm going through my first playthrough of Dark Souls 3. Just took out a boss earlier today, which felt great. And also have been practicing speedrunning Bloodborne in the 100% glitches category. My first goal is to get under 2 hours, and then kind of just go from there. And I really want to learn how to speedrun Liza P. And other stuff. So
That's gonna
yeah,
be so
and
cool.
I gig a lot, and I'm not good at video games, but I have fun anyway.
Little is
Oh,
absolutely
you're
good at
doing
video
well
games.
at Dark Souls 3.
Yeah.
I've been like on you playing that. Like you're doing really good with it.
Zoe's
Yeah.
so
Thank
good
you.
at the game.
I need
She's
to check
really
out your
good.
streams more because those are both things I'm super interested in, like Bloodborne speedruns and first playthrough of Dark Souls 3. God damn.
Yeah.
Man, our streams are such a vibe. Like, I love to lurk in there.
Oh, you're so sweet. Y'all are so cool. I'm so glad to be a part of this rad group
No,
of
you-
rad people. Like,
Me too.
No, you're so rad.
oh,
That's me. Good news. Math is finished.
And it's your turn to introduce
Perfect
yourself.
timing
It took
for
a while,
you.
damn. Like, it took me that long. I'm just kidding.
I'm getting cooked.
Just kidding. I'm just
Okay,
kidding.
hi. I'm GamingMusume, also known as Musume. I do math really slow, but I sometimes play games really fast. For example,
Yes.
I speedran
Yes.
Sekiro recently. I got on the top 100 leaderboard for sure glitchless, and then I promptly retired because that game
I don't
is
blame you.
horrible. But yeah, I do a lot of speedrun stuff, challenge run stuff, looking at Bloodborne hitless, or deathless or hitless potentially with Little One. Potentially we could learn together.
we can do this.
so-
I believe in us.
I believe in us. I think we can do it. Prof is a great teacher, so I think we can do it. But yeah, I'm in the middle of what am I in the middle of right now? I guess we're gonna start the Liza P DLC next week.
Nice.
And then maybe Hollow Knight, maybe Bloodborne hitless, maybe more Sekiro Shura hitless. I don't know. I'm obsessed with Souls, just like everyone else in this wonderful team is, and it's such like a privilege to be able to be part of it and to hang out with y'all, to talk with y'all, and to do good for a good cause like we did today.
Hosting fun events like
smashing that
this
goal.
fun.
Yeah. I was very glad to be able to host this event. It's been in the works for a long time now. And we finally did it, and we did great, and I hope you guys had fun. I definitely had a lot of fun.
I had so much fun.
Yes.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was
Yay!
Bad.
Definitely
You did
looking
really
at
well.
adjusting stuff for the next installment of this. It won't be for a while, but I'm thinking of doing either a DLC version or a more polished version of this, and we'll try it again. And I'd love to
I'm
have you again if
in.
you're interested.
Yes, sign me up. Sign me up.
Actually,
Yeah.
get good at
Yes.
navigating that.
Yeah, and if you have like a year to play the DLC, then like we can just add the DLC into it.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Mhm.
Even
I'll
though the
definitely give it
DLC
some
I think has been
time.
out for a year already, but that we don't want to talk about that.
That's okay. You gotta take your time with the good stuff, okay? You gotta,
That's true.
you gotta let it sit like a fine wine.
I haven't played it.
Yeah.
Gotta do the swirl
DLC's
test.
amazing. I
Yeah.
mean, not everyone loves it, but it's like maybe the most fun I've ever had in a first playthrough of anything was my first playthrough of the Elden Ring DLC. Maybe.
Same, Brian.
It
It
was
is a
very fun,
marked
yeah.
increase in difficulty, though, in my opinion. at
Yes.
least.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
And yeah, without further ado, we're gonna announce some standings here. I'm gonna go from bottom to top. So in 5th place, we have Team 1, who is actually tied in terms of placement with Team 4 and 5 at 20 points
Oh my goodness.
for fifth.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
And who completed one objective for 3 points, which brings their total to 23. And so that is 5th place. Let's go, Team 1. In 4th place, we have a 2-way tie between Team 4 and Team 5, both with 38 points, 20 for placement. And each team both did one objective for 10, one objective for 5, and one objective for 3, totaling 38 for a 4th place tie. Let's go, Team 4 and Team 5.
No.
All right.
Heck yeah.
In third place, or actually, it's second place because we had a fourth tie. So in second place, we have Team 3 with a total of 61 points, 50 points for placement, tied up with Team 2, a 5 objective, a 3 objective, and a 3 objective.
Hell yeah!
For a total of
Let's
61
go.
points. Let's go, Team 3!
Let's go!
And our winner of the Bonfire Bonanza, Team 2. That's
I swear-
They
I
won
swear-
it all.
Wait, hold on. How
No.
how much more points than Team 2 did we have?
So it is extremely close. Team 2 has 63. Team 3 has 61.
Oh my god.
Oh, wait.
The difference is between the objectives.
Keone, Richie, I promise you, it's because of the Dragon Hearts. Oh my lord, if we did
Yeah,
it
probably. Yeah, that's what it was.
That's it, yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
That was just observant luck that we got those.
I'm still mad.
We were trying to figure out
deliberately
where in the
took
world
us.
you got them.
We found
Yeah, did you
on
find them?
Celtic
Grail for that.
They were merchant wares.
They were merchants.
They were.
I remember.
I saw them and I didn't even think about that.
It was on.
Oh no.
Also,
Which merchant?
I think it was War Master Shack Bernhardt. No, what is it called? Yeah, no. What's it?
Yeah.
Bernal. Sorry.
I
yeah.
suggest
no,
we go
Oh, we
there
didn't
as well.
go there. We didn't go
And
there.
here we thought,
Maybe I
let's
saw it
go,
on our
let's
other
go kill some
randomizer.
dragons.
I shouldn't have posed it as a question. I should have been like, nope, we're going here.
Incredible.
Ooh.
Smart gaming there. That's smart.
That is
Very
some
smart.
serious gaming from all teams.
Smart.
The seed
Hell
was
yeah.
not kind, and the
No.
objectives are not that
No,
kind either, and the wheel was not kind either. But we had a great time. Everyone did their best, and huge congratulations to Team 2. Keone, Richie Pie, and
Yay.
Redolino for winning the Bonfire Bonanza, the first of many.
Yay!
Yeah.
I'm ready for our rematch.
You're gonna go down next time, Rachie.
Keep those grudges in your back pocket for the next one, okay?
Rivalries are happening right now.
Gonna
Bun, don't forget our
run Elden
alliance.
Ring-
Not the Alliance brewing.
Speed run Elden Ring in my spare time now, just so I'm ready.
Oh, for
If
real,
anyone
we all
wants
need
to learn
training.
it, I can teach them. If anyone wants to learn, if anyone wants to learn Elden Ring any percent glitchless, I will gladly teach you. It'd be much more fun than me running it.
Wait, is that a serious offer?
I want to
Brian?
learn it sometime.
No, like exactly how I feel about my.
I am actually serious. If anyone wanted to learn it, I would be happy to
I
teach them.
genuinely have been like thinking about trying to take that task on and learning how to speedrun.
Yeah, I'm 100% down.
Hell yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
We got a teaching moment going on. Let's go.
Hell yeah.
That's what the keepers
All
are all
right.
about.
Hell yeah. Exclamation point Firekeepers if this event has intrigued you about the Firekeepers. We are
I
a
believe
stream
we have
team,
an
super
open-
positive stream team.
I think
Oh, are we open right now?
Yeah, I think we have open registration.
Yeah, the
submissions open.
next
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
Next week it's
Yeah.
starting.
Yeah,
So
starting next week.
stream Elden Ring
Get
Day.
your applications in if you're interested.
Absolutely, yeah. The only requirement is that you're fun, positive, nice, and then that you streamed a little bit of Souls in the past year. So if you're interested, definitely check us out.
Or even if you plan to, I have heard
Or if you plan
that.
to.
Yes, I've heard that is also optional and allowed. So please.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're still allowed to be. You're still allowed to
Ew,
be
keep
naughty
it-
though.
ew, keep it-
Just mentioning.
Yes. You're allowed to be chaotic. If
Just
you
a
see
little
my
bit
stream,
naughty.
You know, yeah, you're allowed.
Maybe even encouraged.
Yeah, very encouraged.
No one can stop my gremlin.
No, for
No
real.
one can
Oh, I'm
stop the
taking a-
gremlin.
Oh. Pose everybody. I'll take a
Get in there,
screenshot. Sorry,
Zion, get
that's
in
for
there.
my group.
Definitely pose with your team. My team is posing right now. But I don't want to hold y'all up much longer. Thank you so much again for participating. I will
Thank you
hopefully
for
see you on the
hosting
next
and putting this
installment.
together, Miss
Yeah.
May.
Of
Thank you so
course.
much.
Yeah.
I'm so happy that
So
Incredible. I'm looking at dog pics right now that y'all can't see. On chat. I'm sorry.
Bye. The most adorable thing ever. Bye, you guys. Bye.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much.
Goodbye.
All right. I took our screen.
All right. I am a little bummed. I was really hoping we would do better, but that seed was not kind. We had some really, really tough bosses in some of those places. So that was kind of a little bit of a bummer. If we didn't have some of those really tough bosses in some of those early arenas, we probably would have done a little bit better. You guys did your best. We did. I'm not disappointed in how we did. I'm not by any means disappointed in how like we did or how we performed or anything. But it's more just like I know we could have done better. And yeah, having Horaloo be the second boss, having Moog be the boss in the precipice, and having the Godskin be in Renala was just a little tough, honestly. Those were just weren't very well placed bosses, I guess. So I'm a little bummed. I'm a little disappointed because it would have been really fun to, you know, get just a little bit further, but it's fine. Let's see who's on. Everyone is still on, and everyone is still getting ready to raid out at probably... We can raid... Jeez, is everybody... Are they all raiding out right now? I don't know who to raid, because everyone's gonna start raiding out. I guess we can raid Jade, maybe? We just raided Gigi last night, so we can't raid Gigi again. I guess we can raid Jade. Jade is also a Firekeeper. Yeah, plus all the crashes. You guys are right, the crashes. Your introvert was showing in the group chat, and I was a little disappointed. I was a little disappointed. I was a little bummed. If I'm being totally honest. I was a little bummed out. I honestly thought we would place higher than 4th or 3rd or whatever, but it's all good. I am gonna play something. I think I'm gonna play some Dune, but yeah, I'm gonna raid out. I think I'm gonna raid into Jade, who is playing some Ghost of Tsushima. All right, guys, I will see you later. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the support and all that jazz. Sorry that I got a little sourpuss at the end there, but you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, thanks for being here. Thanks for the support. Thanks for cheering me on. All that jazz. If we do this again, hopefully we'll do a little better next time. It's fine. It's fine. I will see you guys. I don't like to make promises. I would like to stream tomorrow, but you know how it is. Life's, and sometimes I just can't handle life. So yeah. Go hang out with Jade. Thanks for being here. And I appreciate you all. See you.